Breezy during the afternoon and cool 66, 64 and sunny on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their Honor Flight today at gslhonorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Oh yeah, it is the moment you have been waiting for.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
Annie's out. Ryan and Brad are in.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
This is the Mannie Frey Show.
I wish to first congratulate the left. It's not the way we usually start the show, but I wish to congratulate them on their successful protest of the monarchy. We are still a democratic republic here in the United States after the No Kings protests. We were on the verge, but we've come back. Thanks for listening. This is the Annie Frey Show. She's got the day off. I'm going to play for you some of my favorite hits from this weekend. It's nonstop hits here on 97.1. Here's Adam Schiff.
And that is what we are doing today. We are gathered on this great mall to defend our democracy, to say hell no to kings. We are not going back. Our founders listed a long set of grievances against having a king.
They indeed did. And maybe I shouldn't have started with Adam Schiff since he might go to prison for lying. But, I mean, he did make some good points there. The founders, they didn't want a king.
Right.
And
he's not wrong.
We're right there with him. So I don't know exactly what you were protesting this weekend, but I was glad that we finally defeated the monarchy. I know it's been 250 years, but we are there. Brad, did you see any protests this weekend?
No. Usually there's a protest in my hometown, downtown O'Fallon. There's usually a protest there, and I happen to be getting my haircut, which is real close to downtown at that moment, and it was raining pretty good, and I think that kind of washed out the protest in our town.
It did rain a lot this weekend. I mean, Saturday, I forgot how rainy it was Saturday.
We went there, and then there's a pizza place close, so we went over to the pizza place for lunch, and while we were in there, I was just kind of, like, there were some people that...
Were there any kings in there?
No kings.
Oh, then it worked.
Yeah, yeah, we didn't see any kings there. There were some people in there that if I were profiling, I would have said they probably came down for the protest, but they decided to have pizza instead.
Because it was raining. Man, I will say, it's not like, oh, you should have stuck it out because it was raining. It rained.
Yeah, it was a lot
St.
of rain.
Louis this weekend.
Listen, I don't blame them for not showing up for that.
I don't either. And in fact, if they did, I'd be like, dang, more power to you, although your signs are all melting.
Oh, you actually really believe this?
Yeah. Trust the science, like Bill Nye the Science Guy.
We are here to tell our lawmakers that what's going on in our government is wrong. They must stop the abuses of this petulant president and his circle of sycophants. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. This president and his associates cannot tolerate dissent. To them, our free speech is frightening. They are arresting people and denying due process in courts. They tried to silence television hosts. They're trying to fire or indict civil servants, prosecutors, judges, even their own cabinet members. But in this land, these sorts of actions are not new. In 1776, our ancestors had had enough. They declared independence from a king by means of a document stored safely right over there on Constitution Avenue in the National Archives.
Yeah, they cannot tolerate dissent. This administration shut down every single protest this week.
Absolutely every one of them.
So there were no actual No Kings protests because they cannot tolerate dissent. And they shut down all of the national parks and made sure that none of the protests happened. Here's Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House.
It was quite ironic, though. The irony was very glaring. They called it the No Kings Rally. But the great irony, of course, that we pointed out over and over was if President Trump was a king, the government would be open. If President Trump was a king, he would have closed the national parks and the National Mall, so they couldn't have had the rally out here. By the way, that's what President Obama did during the shutdown in 2013. Closed all the parks and the National Mall.
Is this the new Tea Party? Is this the Tea Party rally now, Brad?
What, the No Kings?
No Kings? I mean, it's. I don't know if it's organic because you do see some money poured into some of these things.
It doesn't seem as organic. Organic.
It's
I don't know.
not organic.
I don't understand it at all, really. Whenever I look at it, I'm confused by it. What are you protesting? Like, you're keyed up about something that somebody planted a seed in your brain and you're going out there. But also, like, how do you get Bill Nye isn't going out there out of the goodness of his heart. I guarantee you Bill Nye's collecting a paycheck for delivering a speech out there.
Maybe. We don't know, but possibly. We asked this question, I think it was Thursday or Friday. We were talking about No Kings coming up this weekend, so it's probably Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the question. It was one of those where I'm like, usually Annie's kind of the lead of the show, of course, and I'm just kind of following. I throw my 2 cents in, and most of the time I'm joking around. But in that moment, I was like, okay, fine. I'm issuing a call to action here. Just kind of took things over, as I'm doing today because Annie's not here. And said, I issue a challenge to anybody who's in support of No Kings or is going to be a part of No Kings. Tell me exactly what it is that Trump has done that makes him a king. Mm-hmm. I would say actually doing right now, because you're protesting it right now.
Right.
What is he doing right now that makes him a king? And Brad pulled this supercut of No Kings protesters who tried to answer that question, which is great because we were talking about it Friday. And, a few people weighed in, which I appreciate, on our chat. But they were very vague statements. They were broad statements about, king-like behavior or things like that. They weren't really anything specific.
He's trying to consolidate power.
Yeah, or things like that, which is okay. I mean, thank you for weighing in, but have to respectfully disagree. So here's the supercut. Now, I haven't heard this yet, but there's a bunch of people trying to answer that very question. How is Trump a king?
Because he is trying to take control of everything. Like his checks and balances are not working, so he is just trying to completely disregard the Constitution.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of amendments have been kind of overcome, like in a way that they're not supposed to be.
Wait, which amendments specifically?
The whole
first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Trying to take away our
freedom of protesting.
Okay. I mean, that's just nonsense. I was expecting a little bit more than that. Was that just one person?
That was two separate people.
Two people. Okay. But again, we'll issue that question, and we've had time to think about it. Obviously, the internet goes crazy and starts posting things like this, where I get it. Like, if there were somebody out there interviewing multiple people, and 10 of them had great answers, but 2 of them had terrible answers, and they just aired the 2. That's easy to do. I get that. So we asked the question again, what is it exactly that makes him a king? I see people weighing in. Andy says tariffs equal new taxes not approved by Congress, king-like. Okay, that's a fair assessment. The problem is that the Supreme Court's about to decide that, so it's certainly not king-like, because if the Supreme Court strikes it down, he won't be able to do it, and it's going through the court process, and Trump is very, I think, concerned about this. Have you heard that he might actually go to the Supreme Court for that hearing?
Heard this.
Yeah, he has said, I might actually just walk over there and be in there for that hearing. Which is, I don't know that really happens. I don't know that I've ever seen a president go into the Supreme Court and just be there for the hearing, which I think is open to the public, so anybody can go naturally. That would be interesting, but he's very concerned about that. But point being that if somehow, now here's where it would be king-like, is if Congress, if the Supreme Court said, no, this actually is a power designated specifically to Congress, because there's a law that I think was from like the 1960s or 70s that Congress approved that gave the president some authority over this. But the question is Trump outside that authority or is he within that authority? So it's being decided. And if Supreme Court comes back and says, well, no, you can't do that, and he decides to somehow do it anyway, that would be authoritarian. You can't do that.
So like if the Supreme Court rules against something that you're doing and you continue to do it anyway, and you violate the Supreme Court, that would be a bad thing?
Would
that be king-like?
If you did it deliberately and you knew that was against the law and you decided, no, I'm going to tell my people to do it anyway.
So hypothetically, like if you had a president that would say, I'm going to forgive student loan debt, and then the Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that, and then they continued for the rest of their administration to try to forgive student loan debt?
Oh, interesting. Now you just brought up an interesting point there. Kate on our live stream also brings this up. She says, Ryan, you mean like when the court told Biden he couldn't forgive loans and he did it anyway? Yeah, that does seem to fall within that. So these No Kings protests are, all joking aside, in my opinion, I will give them credit for good turnout. But I just don't know that the point is really getting across for the American people. Randy Weingarten is the former head of one of the major teachers unions. I can't remember which one. And I still follow her, AFT. I follow her on Twitter. And she posted something this weekend that I want to talk about really quick, but here's what she had to say.
We are the majority of America. And what do we want? What do we want? We want the promise of America for everyone. We want a voice in our future. We are standing up in peaceful, patriotic protest, just like our founders called out. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. We are standing up because we don't want our streets militarized. We don't want our neighbors disappeared by masked Asians.
It's such a shame that she's not in charge of one of the largest teachers unions in America anymore. She clearly has her priorities straight. But that is Randy Weingarten. And now I bring up that clip because I posted this. Brad, I don't know if you saw this over the weekend. She reposted some random representative that I don't know the name of. And again, this isn't somebody who's famous. It's just somebody random. And I just saw it and I thought, what exactly is this? Congressman Brendan Boyle. Okay, whoever that is. He must have been at that same rally that she was speaking at there. I posted this picture, and if you want to see this, go to my Twitter, at Radio Wiggins, because I am shocked that nobody has pointed this out. But if you click on Congressman Brendan Boyle's picture and you zoom in, it looks the crowd looks completely fabricated.
Fake. Yeah.
Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw your post.
So nobody in the actual post is, I reposted it for people to see, but nobody in the actual post is saying that. And it could just be weird that it looks that way and maybe it is real, but I'm telling you, there is a lot of people in this that they look so photoshopped in, and people pointing cameras that aren't at the speaker, pointing cameras off in weird directions, and some guy is way bigger than the person next to him in an awkward way that doesn't look real. It just looks fake, and it makes me wonder if any of the video and photos that we're seeing are fake, because we're in that era now.
Yeah.
Kind of transitioning to a different issue here, but we're in an era now where if you see Bob Ross cussing out Mr. Rogers, you know that's fake.
Right.
However, if you didn't know for sure, it looks very real.
The ones that really I've noticed are the Ring door cam videos. Have you seen those where like a person will go out and then the dog will take out a bear or something like that?
Yes.
And you're like, my wife's like, I can't believe people are catching these. And I'm like, those are
real.
AI.
We're there. And it's only been a year. And I think at this time last year, you could see a video like that and you kind of know. But I think at this point, this is how fast it's happening, that by this time next year, you're going to see full-on deep fake AI videos of the President of the United States giving State of the Union or something, and it be completely fake.
Yeah.
Because it's that good now. Anyway, that's kind of a side point. One of these last things I wanted to play was the president himself addressing the No Kings rally, whether or not he's a king.
What's your response to the protests over the weekend, the No Kings protests?
I think it's a joke. I looked at the people. They're not representative of this country. And I looked at all the brand new signs paid for, I guess it was paid for by Soros and other radical left lunatics. It looks like it was. We're checking it out. The demonstrations were very small, very ineffective, and the people were whacked out. When you look at those people, those are not representative of the people of our country.
Mr. President, besides San Francisco...
By the way, I'm not a king. I'm not a king. I work my off to make our country great. That's all it is. I'm not a king at all.
Well, there you go. The President of the United States addressing the No Kings rally. We are going to take a short break and talk to Ryan Schmelz next. Of course, the big news is what's going on with the government shutdown. He'll have the latest for us. And did the No Kings protest affect that at all? And specifically, a lot of people were speculating that Chuck Schumer was holding things back because he wanted to make sure that this No Kings rally went well, that he was reflected well in the rally, and then now he would start to negotiate. Is that going to happen? I've seen a little buzz about that, but I don't know if there's anything to it. We'll find that out next with Ryan Schmelz from Capitol Hill.
This is your chance to win a free basic handgun skills class from the Range St. Louis West. Mark Cox here, 14803 Manchester Road in Baldwin is where the range sits, and you got to go. This is ideal for beginners, expert instruction. They have it available in a women-only class if you're more comfortable. Normally the class is $135. You can win right now, therangestl.com/971. Again, therangestl.com/971.
Men. Need a clinic that accepts all insurance, including Medicare? U.S. Men's Medical Center in St. Peters does. U.S. Men's helps men experiencing loss of energy, focus, concentration, and low libido. And they accept all insurance, even Medicare, for testosterone replacement therapy. Patients love the staff and the fact that, yes, I'm going to say it again, they accept all insurance, including Medicare. Feel better? Call U.S. Men's Medical Center at 636-244-5333.
Setting goals for your retirement is one thing, but knowing how to achieve those goals is another.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different.
For tips on building a better nest egg, listen to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, here on 97.1 FM Talk.
You can also visit yourmoneymattersstl.com for more details.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can. /free. QUO.com/free.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25 plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you could get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
First of all, the president has been very active throughout this process, but it's also his position that this is a thing that the Senate needs to work out. A lot of our friends in the Senate have said that it was just bad optics for Democrats to open the government before the No Kings rally, and that now there's a shot that this week things will come together and very quickly the moderate Democrats will move forward and get us an open government, at which point we could negotiate whatever policies they want to negotiate with regular order.
Kevin Hassett there talking about where we are now after the No Kings rally. And our favorite, Ryan Schmelz, is here, Fox News Radio, Capitol Hill, and White House correspondent. Ryan, is there any truth to the fact that being past the No Kings rally means, now there's going to be open negotiations to get the government back open?
Well, if you talk to Republicans, that is the thought, that the No Kings rally is now over. Democrats are no longer going to be feeling pressure from their left flank or being forced to show their left flank that they are fighting the Trump administration through a rally like the No Kings protest. But I think there have been a lot of Democrats who push back on that sentiment, but it is something that Republicans have been pushing, and they expect now that the government might actually be able to be reopened with that being passed. But at the same time, we haven't really gotten any indication that this week's going to be any different than it's been the last couple of weeks.
So Republicans are at least expecting that or saying they expect that, maybe to try to move the ball down the field a little bit. What are Democrats saying on Capitol Hill right now? Are they talking about it at all?
We'll probably hear from them later. Leader Jeffries is doing his 4:00 press conference a little bit later on. There's another vote scheduled for this evening where they're going to try to once again put this bill on the floor and see if they have enough Democrats to vote for it. So far, you've had three senators who caucus with Democrats who have voted with Republicans almost every time on this continuing resolution, but it hasn't been the case in terms of getting enough Democrats to break the Senate filibuster. They're going to need 8 total. They need 5 more, and it's been the same roll call over and over again. It's the same 3 who vote with Republicans. It's the rest who don't vote with Republicans at all.
Ryan, is there any sense in which, they're like, are people talking about, we're not publicly talking, but maybe there's some back channels where there is some negotiation, or are people talking at all across aisles at this point?
Yeah. If there are any talks, it's not exactly, anything that's going to come to a solution, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Right. Like there's been some talks about a 1-year extension for the Affordable Care Act tax subsidies that has Republicans and Democrats who've signed on to it. But Democrat leadership's not seriously considering that. And we don't even know if GOP leadership would seriously consider that either. So talks like that aren't exactly going to lead to the government being reopened. And as long as Dem leadership is, pushing that they're not going to support this bill. And, you did hear that Leader Thune said that he had made guarantees to Democrats privately that he would give them a vote on the Affordable Care Act tax exemption, tax credits. But then you had Chuck Schumer kind of push that down and say that there was no formal offer made. So you just hear a lot of mixed messaging about what the talks are and if there's any talks at all.
Ryan Schmelz with us now, Fox News Radio, Capitol Hill, and White House correspondent. All of the negotiation, or lack thereof, just sounds like it's about the continuing resolution right now, though, which would be a temporary fix as far as I understand it. Is there anything that would be more permanent to getting a budget going, or are they all focused on just getting it reopened temporarily?
Well, so there are negotiations going on right now on 3 of the appropriations bills that would fund the government for the next fiscal year. Speaker Johnson has said no matter what comes out of those committees or out of those negotiations, he promises to put them on the floor, no matter how much he dislikes them or how much he gets pushback from his right flank on them. There are also, have been some movement on different appropriations bills, whether it be an attempt to pass the defense bill. It was not successful on the Senate side. Besides that, though, that's one of the questions that Speaker Johnson's getting peddled with right now, is that he's been people have been asking him, well, you're keeping the House out of session. Is that going to make it harder for you to pass these appropriations bills and get the full government funded for the next fiscal year if the deadline you initially set, which was mid to late November, well, we're a lot closer to mid to late November now, and the government hasn't been reopened and the House hasn't been in session because Speaker Johnson has kind of said, I'm not going to bring the House back unless you reopen the government. So he's taken a pretty hardline stance on this by just keeping the House out of session and saying we're not coming back until this is figured out. But he did say there are some negotiations going on here and there. There is some work that's going on despite the House not being in session on that.
Ryan, I had really just one last question on this topic before we transition to a little bit lighter subject. But that you just said that they're not in session. Does that mean that Congress can really get nothing done until there's a budget? And is that a choice? Is that a choice that Mike Johnson's making?
It is a choice Mike Johnson's making. I mean, he pretty much decided the schedule was always supposed to be. They were supposed to be in session in October, and we expected this, government funding to be the big topic of discussion throughout the month of October because it was up against the deadline. I should probably say the end of September was up against the deadline.
Yeah.
But ultimately they ran out of time. The House passed their continuing resolution, punted government spending until mid to late November, but it's been held up in the Senate ever since then. And Speaker Johnson pretty much did this strategy where the House passed their bill and they got out of town.
64 and sunny.
And ever since then. And Speaker Johnson pretty much did this strategy where the House passed their. I'm hearing some feedback, Mayor. Okay, we're good now. But now, ever since then, Speaker Johnson has pretty much just kept the House away until. And pretty much saying, I'm not going to bring them back until you reopen the government. So it is a strategy and it is a choice. And he's got some Republicans saying to him, bring the House back now. Please bring the House back. We got to work on appropriations.
I said that was the last on that topic, but really quick, are there any Republican priorities that are being held up because they're not able to do anything? And is that part of the Democrat strategy here?
I mean, there are some, I think there is this idea, and Democrats have said this. One of the things that we're not talking about a lot that Democrats want as part of a deal to reopen the government is they do want guarantees that whatever they negotiate in the full budget, then Republicans cannot come back in later or the Trump administration and rescind it because they only need 50 votes in the Senate to rescind something or cut spending. And Democrats fear that, well, if we work really hard to negotiate something, we fight to get something put into the full funding bill, well, if Republicans don't like it, they'll just come back with a rescission package and just cut it anyway. So I think there are Democrats who want some guarantees on that. And that's a big sticking point for some, not all of them, but a good amount of them. That is their big sticking point.
Now, Ryan Schmelz, before we let you go here, there are very few opportunities because we're just always news, where we get to talk to you about anything a little bit more personal. So within, just a couple minutes here, while we still have some time left, I have heard through the grapevine that you are a great advocate of dancing. Now,
yes.
Please explain, because that's what I know. Please explain why I heard that.
So I have been taking lessons through an organization called Inspira Dance for the last 2 years.
Okay.
And what they do is that they advocate to have and raise money to have dance programs in public schools. One of the ways they do that is that they do lessons at local event venues like bars, restaurants, you name it, and they do dance classes there. So we pay a cover fee. People get a 2-step lesson. They get a swing lesson. They get a line dance lesson, you name it. And pretty much we raise money to keep this program running. So it's a great organization. It's been very helpful. And we have coming up our homecoming party, and we're doing a homecoming theme. So very somewhat high schoolish, where, you have everyone's supposed to ask a date and do the promposal thing and all that. So I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do yet. Hold on a second. I had notes here. I had one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about.
He's holding it up. If you can see what he's holding up here. It says, "This is my my promposal," and then I can't see the bottom. Brad, can you read the bottom for me, please?
Looks like country music,
no.
Country scene, DC, Inspira Dance. Okay,
at Country Music DC at Inspira Dance. All right, I think that. So that was your promposal. Do we have to say I accept?
Was it? Did I have anything on there?
Ryan, thanks, man. How do you want people to get involved? Just go to those.
Look us up. There's a website. There's an Instagram page, Inspira Dance, the Instagram page, and then there's also a website too. So hey, maybe we can start an Inspira Dance chapter in St. Louis.
So this organization then uses those funds. It's nonprofit, and they go to putting dance in public schools.
That's correct. Yes, sir.
That's fun.
Sounds like a blast.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Ryan.
One of the schools apparently did a reenactment of Thriller recently, and that looked pretty epic. So
you're wanting to get this going in Missouri?
Why not?
Why not?
Why wouldn't we?
All right. It all starts here. Thanks, Ryan Schmelz.
Exactly.
We'll refer back to this as the genesis of this entire movement.
Thanks, guys.
All right, talk to you next week. That was Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio, Capitol Hill, and White House correspondent. A little lighter stuff there. He has a lot of local ties, so it's one of the reasons we like talking to him a lot, because he knows the station, knows the area very, very well, but he's there at Capitol Hill for us every week. 12:33 now. We are moving into the second half of this hour. I am looking forward in the next segment to sharing with you some polls. I mean, surprise, surprise, I'm hosting. We're going to talk about polls, but I think you're going to like these. Maybe in the 1 o'clock hour, we might actually get into some midterm stuff. That's a little bit deeper if you want to stick around for that. But how about just this shutdown? How is the shutdown affecting each party? How is it affecting Trump? Who's winning this battle according to polling? Well, I've got that for you next here on the Annie Frey Show.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is Justin Brown with Krentz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. Is your financial advisor proactive or reactive? If your strategy or service feels stagnant or misaligned, it may be time for a change. Our defined, proactive approach to investments and communication keeps you informed and prepared for what's ahead. Let's talk about what makes us different and how a more engaged advisor can help you reach your goals. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA/SIPC. Krentz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world, even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Well, speaking of Lit Cigar Lounge, we are having a anniversary party for 97.1. That's our 25th anniversary party. It's going to be at Lit Cigar Lounge this Thursday. And if you haven't RSVP'd for that, it's free. So you can go on to 971talk.com/events and RSVP there and get your place held. Come hang out with us at Lit Cigar Lounge. Real quick here, our YouTube live chat poll, is America's culture shifting? And we've got 3 options: yes, rightward; yes, leftward; or it's not moving. We want to hear what you think, so we want you to jump on our YouTube page, vote in the poll, and then leave us a comment telling us why you voted the way you voted. And we might read that comment on the air. Right now, it's 12:37, and this time check is brought to you by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
For details and a list of all station contest rules, visit www.971talk.com/rules.
Consistently right.
It's a ritual.
97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brad mentioned it there, but we invite you to come out to see us all. I think every single one of us from 97.1 is going to be at Lit Cigar Lounge on Thursday night, and we are looking forward to seeing you. If you are, tentatively planning on, our VIPs are sold out, so all that's left is it's weird to say that the ones that cost money, those are gone. The free ones are still there. If you still want to come, you can RSVP at 971talk.com and just come and hang out with us. Maybe get some drinks and some appetizers or whatever, and hear some live music. We'll just be talking, and we'll actually be live. So Thursday evening, pretty much during the Mark Reardon show, we'll all be out there. You don't want to see a bunch of radio people fighting over microphones because we don't stop. We will all fight each other for more airtime. I think. I don't know. We'll see.
They'll step over one another, that's for sure.
We'll step on each other. As we're talking, we'll just keep talking on each other. So I mentioned that there is polling out concerning the shutdown. The very first polling that came out about this was almost like reflexive. Oh, there's a shutdown, and people went, oh, it must be Republicans' fault. So there was a little bit of a skew to Democrats are doing the right thing here, Republicans, but it was pretty close. It was close to 50-50. But listen to Harry Enton now at this very moment. This was from this weekend, maybe even from yesterday, on CNN, talking about where CNN's shutdown polling stands concerning Donald Trump.
That's exactly right. Turns out shutdowns are different the second time around when it comes to Donald Trump. Take a look here. We speak about Donald Trump shutdowns, net approval rating. We're talking 20 days into it. In 2018/2019, Donald Trump's net approval rating was already falling. The shutdown was eating into his popular support. It was down 3 points already at this particular point and would fall considerably more. It was very much on the decline. You come over to this side of the screen, this shutdown hasn't eaten into Donald Trump's support at all. His net approval rating is actually up a point in terms of his popular support. So the bottom line is this. The first shutdown during Trump's first term, 2018-2019, was hurting Donald Trump. This one is not hurting him at all. There's no real reason Donald Trump might say, at least when it comes to popular support, I want to get out of this shutdown.
Surprised, Brad?
Not at all.
It's actually benefiting Donald Trump at this point, according to CNN.
Yeah.
Not that was the purpose of it, but that's where people are thinking right now here on the 20th day of it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at this at all. The Republicans have done a great job of messaging on this, something that they've been horrible at the past. They're unified in it. The message seems to be the same coming out of whoever's talking. Schumer shutdown is a big thing. And then you've got Mike Johnson, who goes out every weekday and he delivers a shutdown speech from the podium in the House press room there. And he talks about it. He's like, I want to get this open. This isn't right. This is what they're holding us hostage for. This is why they're holding it hostage. And you can see him kind of getting a little more Mike Johnson anger each time he does it. And he says, I'm just so frustrated. The last one I saw, he was like, I'm just so frustrated with this. I don't want to be Mad Mike. I want to be the happy warrior. But this is just so silly.
I would say that this is the benefit of being in power, is that you have the ability to pass a clean budget, which they did, same budget under Biden, and then go out and say that over and over and over, that Democrats are the ones voting to keep it closed because you have the power to do that. And that is true. Who exactly is getting the blame now? So that was approval ratings.
Right.
Who is going up? Who is going down? Trump's going up. Apparently, Democrats are going down. What about who are voters actually blaming for this whole thing?
What about the question of blame? Yeah, okay, what about the question of blame? Okay, you see Donald Trump's net approval rating was down 2018 to 2019. You talk about 2025 as net approval rating is up. It comes down to the blame game, a game I loved to play when I was younger. Blame Trump for the shutdown a great deal. In 2018/2019, 61%, more than 3 in 5 Americans blame Trump a great deal for that particular shutdown. You come over to this side of the screen, look at this. It's a different world. 48% of Americans blame Trump a great deal for this particular shutdown. So it's more than 3 in 5 back in 2018/2019. It's less than half, a drop of 13 points. Again, it's no real wonder that Donald Trump at this point, looking at the shutdown, says, you know what, it's not actually harming me politically. in large part because he's getting less of the blame.
Yeah, and that's a nice development for him at this point, although he's not really directly responsible for it. This is Congress, of course. But does it give him any sort of political will to continue this thing? Does it give the GOP any political will to continue this thing? I don't really know the answer to that. The problem is what they're talking about is really focused on one little thing. And Democrats messaged this all the way back. I remember doing hits on Mark Cox Morning Show, like at the beginning of September, saying, watch out, what Democrats are going to message throughout the government shutdown, if it happens, because at that time we didn't know, is that Republicans are trying to make your health care more expensive. Well, that was the message going into October. They've kind of lost that message, but they have continued to say we're trying to save Obamacare subsidies, which is really the one thing they're planting their flag on. The problem is when you look into that topic, Republicans have yelled from the rooftops that Democrats are trying to fund illegal immigrant health care. And there is some truth to that, as I've looked into that. It's not as simple as that, but there is truth to it. Where they're not really messaging a whole lot is that the subsidy levels that Democrats are fighting to keep are COVID level.
Yes.
So remember when COVID happened and all the people stopped working, everybody went home, and lots of people went on public health care, private or Obamacare, bought into the marketplace. They opened up open enrollment and everything because it was like, oh, healthcare crisis, get people onto healthcare. Well, all those subsidies are still at the COVID level. And so Democrats are trying to keep Obamacare subsidies that heightened.
Weren't they also designed, or whenever they passed that, they were designed to sunset at the end of this year?
And so that's the fight too, is that the subsidies aren't permanent. So they have to do this fight anyway. But that's where Democrats are saying, no, you have to keep it that high. And Republicans are going, look, no, we do not have to keep it that high. That's ridiculous. In fact, when you passed this stupid thing, you said that, it's going to pay for itself and it's not going to raise insurance. Every single message that Democrats had in 2008 and 2009 about Obamacare,
if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor,
has been completely false.
Yes.
And now they're trying to prop it up with more of your money. Here's the last thing that Harry Enton on CNN had to say about Donald Trump and polling and the way this is going.
And he's doing things differently during this shutdown.
Yes, exactly right. We talk about Donald Trump and you say, okay, he wants to be a consequential, influential president. Well, if the legislative process is basically freezed up, on Capitol Hill, you may say, well, then he can't actually get legislation through. But that's not how Trump is governing in this term. We've spoken about this over and over and over again. He's using his pen. He's using executive orders. Trump executive orders at this point of presidency. In 2017, it was just 50. Look at this. Already 210 executive orders signed by Donald Trump during this presidency. That is the most in a year. You have to go all the way back since Franklin Delano Roosevelt to find a president who signed more executive orders in a year than Donald Trump has already signed this time around. And remember, John Berman, we still have 2 months to go in this year, so it wouldn't be surprising to me if he signs even more.
Yeah, seems to be saying, Congress, you don't want to do something?
I'll do it.
Yeah, he is getting the job done by his pen. Executive orders. When he said 210 executive orders is how much Trump has signed this year, first of all, jaw drop. Second, that's not the most ever. FDR still beat him. Unbelievable. Now we'll see if he can get to that number by the end of the year. We're still just in October, but he's signed a lot. All right, short break. We're going to come back with Ethan doing Wiggins America. Stick around.
25 years of 97.1 in St. Louis.
It's Jim Carapano. For me, 97.1 is always my sanity check. I live in the bubble, and when I talk to people in St. Louis, if it makes sense to them, then I know I'm okay. So can't wait to see what's ahead.
You've got basement problems, and you've known for a while that it's going to need to get fixed, but it's always in the back of your mind, because if you don't fix it now, what it's going to be like in 5 years could be a lot more consequential, read a lot more expensive. Call Matt Hayes at Home Shield Foundation Repair. You can look him up online at homeshieldfoundationrepairs.com and have Matt come out and his team come out and give you a personal look over of your basement so they can assess exactly the solution that is necessary for your basement concerns. When Matt Hayes comes out, he's going to go into your basement. He's going to indicate all of the different areas where you might need to do something. Maybe there's something that is structurally fine and he thought it was bad and it's not. He's not going to take advantage of that situation, but he is going to put you in a position where you can feel comfortable and confident with a respectful estimate that is going to actually solve your problem for good. That's what matters, doesn't it? They're an A-plus accredited business with the Better Business Bureau with a ton of 5-star ratings on Google. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
We, without hesitation, recommend that anybody work with ThrottleNet. The experience will be as good as it's been for us, for anybody, because you'll get a true partnership and you'll be able to rest easy that you're going to get the service that you need while they're also doing all those things that you don't want to have to think about, that you don't want to have to worry about. They're always doing that in the background for you.
Don't wait for your next IT crisis. If your business depends on technology, you need a partner that's got your back. Contact ThrottleNet.com to get a free IT evaluation and see how we can support your IT everything.
Ronald Reagan once famously said, "Government is not the solution, government is the problem." When it comes to economic growth, government can be a roadblock. With red tape, regulations, and subsidies, government stifles entrepreneurship and also props up businesses that deserve to go under. Unlike government, free markets encourage risk-taking, freedom to succeed or fail. Governments shouldn't be picking winners and losers, the market should. Free markets benefit the business owner and the customer by encouraging competition. Free Market enabled a young man named J.C. Hall selling picture postcards in Kansas City to turn his idea into Hallmark cards. In St. Louis, the Free Market made it possible for Adolphus Busch to turn his father-in-law's local beer into the world's largest brewery. A free market also means you get to send your kids to the school of your choice. Learn more about free markets at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Now, back to the Annie Frey Show. Real talk for real people. 97.1 FM Talk.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
Not Wiggins America, Ethan's America. Ethan's America.
I don't think you understand just how much I hate that.
I
hate it so
You know
much.
What's crazy about that is the only person that doesn't like it is you.
It like
For some
actually like
reason.
slightly gets under my skin. That's how much I don't like it.
I'll ask Annie, and Annie will be like, do the Ethan open. Okay.
What is it about somebody yelling, "I'm disappointed in you," that you hate?
One, it's just annoying sounding. Two, part of it's that it comes from you.
Uh-huh.
If it came from someone else, it'd be like, okay, all right, whatever. But because it's you, it's just a little more like irks me. A little more. I don't know what it is.
I like that it ends so sad.
Then you got like the little trumpet going. Wah, wah, wah. Freaking jerk.
That's a pretty good open.
Is that you yelling disappointed? Or
No, that's Kevin Sorbo.
That is Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin Sorbo. Hercules.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny. It
Yeah.
could have been.
We got him to do that.
Wow. Was unaware of the budget here at 97.1.
Yeah, he costs a lot. I don't get paid this year, but it's worth it.
You know what? That makes it all worth it to me. Oh, man. It's been a hectic morning regarding Amazon Web Services and everything that's going on. This is the Monday Roundup, by the way. I guess the intro didn't say.
We skipped
the intro
Monday
didn't
Roundup.
say the Monday Roundup, so I just had to make it clear that we are recapping some of the more the bigger stories in news this morning. And the one, arguably the biggest one, is that websites and services across the country and around the world actually are struggling to recover after a huge problem at Amazon Web Services, otherwise known as AWS, and it's left leading gaming services, publishers, streaming platforms, and a lot of other apps completely unusable to quite literally millions of people. Have you guys heard about this?
Oh yeah, I've been affected by it. I went to pay somebody some money by Venmo this morning, and it just didn't work. It is scary to me because the internet seems like it's the ultimate decentralized platform where anything can happen. And to some extent, that is true because it's not as if all web-based everything is down. But when one major company goes down like this, which has happened in the past to other ones, and I can't name who they are.
Amazon's had trouble in the past too.
Have they? But when any company goes down like this, you see like how many other companies are using one company.
Yeah.
So it's not quite a monopoly because it's not the entire internet, but it is a little bit concerning when one entity controls that much. Which we saw during like all the censorship of the COVID era, that there were people being deplatformed because they disagreed with like vaccine tech. You're like, what is happening? You're just going to delete me? I can't be on the internet anymore?
You don't exist on the internet anymore.
That's real. That is legitimate censorship.
Yeah.
And when the FBI got involved and you're like, oh, they were back channels with the government, then it gets illegal.
Yeah.
The cloud hosting service that underpins much of the web and everyday online tools went offline because of a problem with one of its core database products. The problem has persisted through the morning, and I'm pretty sure, as far as I know, it's still an issue. The outage has affected users of sites ranging from Snapchat to the McDonald's app to Amazon's Ring doorbell cameras to Roblox and Fortnite. I love that the McDonald's app was one of the 5 that this.
We're going to talk about the McDonald's app a little later.
Are we now? Did this directly affect you this morning?
It did a little bit. I had to reboot it a few times to enter my latest code for States Avenue. We can talk about that later, though. I'm a little bit obsessed. I think I might be addicted to getting those game pieces because I went to McDonald's like 5 times this weekend.
I forgot that you have the what's it called? The Monopoly.
Is that the Monopoly? Well, it's all in the McDonald's app.
Yeah, but like that's going on now. I forgot.
Oh yeah.
So that probably affects even more people than it normally would on the McDonald's app.
Right.
Maybe that's why they mentioned the McDonald's
Maybe that's
app.
what crashed the server.
The Down Detector website received 6.5 million reports that more than 1,000 sites and services across the world were offline.
That's a lot.
That is indeed a lot. I think it's actually impacting a couple of things here as well. I tried to look at our work schedule, like to see like which part-timers were working with us this upcoming week, and it was just blank. It was completely blank. So I'm wondering if that has something to do with it as well.
No, it's not. It's all on you. You're going to have to do all their work.
Yeah. It's not blank. Your name's in there.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Mexican criminals have offered, it is being reported, that Mexican criminals are offering Chicago gangs up to $50,000 to murder top officials at both ICE and Customs Enforcement, of course, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and U.S. Customs and Border Protection. This was reported by DHS. In an intelligence bullpen, DHS revealed a tiered system of bounties starting with $2,000 for gathering intelligence and doxing agents. This is in a couple of Chicago neighborhoods. Local gangs have deployed armed spotters to rooftops to track law enforcement movements and relay the details via radio. What country are we living in?
This story is wild.
This is unbelievable.
That is wild. Can I ask you who reported that?
This was I don't have the source off the top of my.
That's all right.
I have it printed out, but I always
I just wonder because I've noticed in a lot of articles like that where if the government reports something under Trump, the article will say, "Well, this is being reported." Whereas if the Biden administration reported it, they would just take it as fact. And I wonder,
MSN is the report.
That figures. Well, it's being reported that. Look, no, this is the Department of Homeland Security saying this, and they're like, "Well, we that's what they're saying." Of course, that's MSN. All right, short break. We'll be right back with more Annie Frey Show.
No need to get technical on heating and cooling. We all want our houses to cool, correct? When it's heating season, we want them to heat, correct? There's not much more to it than that, but I can give you some pointers and tips on the efficiencies, meaning the efficiencies of your house. What you can do to make your house more efficient, and then deciding on what system to purchase, therefore maximizing every single dollar you spent for a furnace and air conditioner. Not spending maximum dollars on a furnace and air conditioner because you're told of an efficiency rating, and that's it. So again, a common sense approach. When you start getting prices for new furnace and air conditioners, call me. It's one easy number, Missouri and Illinois. Again, Missouri and Illinois, the only number, 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600, or on the internet, it is bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
All right. Well, if you are looking for a great place to go for your next occasion, check out Andrea's Steakhouse. It is awesome. It is the best meal you're going to have all year, and that is why you should make it an occasion. Although, you can also make up an occasion. We do this pretty regularly. Now, we just went there for my birthday. My mother-in-law said, where do you want to go? And I said, Andrea's, and she said, that's what I figured. I already did the reservation because she knew. So we all went there, and we got steaks, and my son got lobster Andrea pasta, and they have just some great dishes. And that's the thing about Andrea's too, is that they're known for their steaks, but they do have sometimes limited menu items that they will just present for a little while. They keep their menu very, very small. So if you go to a lot of restaurants and you just have like thing after thing after thing, it's because they don't specialize in anything. Or if you go to Andrea's, you know you can get a steak or one of their specialties, and it is going to be the best version of that thing that you will ever have. I suggest the filet mignon. That is what I always get at Andrea's Steakhouse. Visit them online at andreas.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service and Environmental Resources. At Hansen's, we manufacture a full line of garden and landscape products that are perfect for your outdoor project. Pick up any of our products at World Outdoor Emporium, Kirkwood Materials, or a Hansen's location near you.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
KFTK FM Florissant.
An Odyssey station.
The president sounding confident. Lisa Brady, Fox News, about a possible trade deal soon with China's president.
Amid new tariff threats, President Trump is still confident he will strike a trade agreement with his Chinese counterpart next week.
I think we're going to end up having a fantastic deal with China. It's going to be a great trade deal. It's going to be fantastic for both countries. And it's going to be fantastic for the entire world.
President Trump and China's President Xi Jinping are expected to meet on the sidelines of an Asian-Pacific Economic Summit in South Korea. President Trump is threatening to increase tariffs on Chinese goods by 100% if Beijing won't back down from proposed export limits on critical minerals.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, where the president signed a minerals partnership today with Australia's prime minister, aiming to reduce reliance on China for those materials. Fox News confirming Senate Republicans will have lunch at the White House tomorrow, facing pressure in their own party to end a government shutdown.
Some Republicans in the House, like Chip Roy, are encouraging Majority Leader John Thune to end the Senate filibuster in order to reopen the government.
I think we're just being beholden to a broken system right now.
Republicans have multiple times failed to reach the 60-vote threshold to break the filibuster on a stopgap measure to reopen the government, with Democrats pushing for health care provisions to be included.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries tells the Economic Club of New York.
And so our position at the moment, remains we want to reopen the government. We support our hardworking federal civil servants.
But Jeffrey says a health care crisis needs to be addressed with insurance tax credits set to expire. Republicans say it was Democrats who passed the subsidies with a sunset provision and that policy differences should be negotiated after the government reopens. America is listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
you're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
All about sunshine as we go through our Monday afternoon. 72 for the high. It's a little chilly if you're caught out in that wind. Some of the wind gusts pushing 30 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, chilly. Once the sun goes down, the winds fade quickly. 52. Tuesday, sunny. Gets a little breezy during the afternoon and cool. 66. 64 and sunny on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new furnace, get Carrier Cool Cash rebates and 0% financing so you'll be nice and cozy as the weather turns. For a free estimate on a new heating system, visit aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Oh, yeah, this is the moment you have been waiting for.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
Annie's out. Ryan and Brad are in.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
This is the Mannie Frey Show.
Well, I appreciate CNN, but I'll tell you, Republicans own most of the media. They control Fox News and X or Meta, whatever you call it. Right now the president has purchased or allowed his allies to purchase TikTok. We are hard pressed to get our message out.
That is Congresswoman Gwen Moore, a Democrat from Wisconsin, saying that it is harder for Democrats to get their message out now. I don't know. Is there any truth to that? It's one of the reasons that we asked you in the poll today. It's kind of related, but not exactly the same thing. Is the media landscape shifting? No. The poll is American culture shifting? Yes, rightward. Yes, leftward. Or it's not moving. And so we're asking you what you think about that question, because I think the argument could be made in a lot of ways for a lot of directions. We're kind of all over the place. And yes, it's a little bit more than just political, although the answers are very political in nature. So I get that if you're like, yeah, American culture is shifting, but I don't really know how to answer this. Is it rightward or leftward? Because it's not quite that. You got to pick one of them, though, and not moving at all is the third option.
Listening to her saying that it's harder for them to get their message out, at first I was like, what are you talking about? And then I realized something. Yes, Republicans are able to use X and Fox News. I mean, Democrats still have MSNBC, CNN, all of those other locations. But the Republican message is getting out more now than it ever has in history. So are they having trouble getting their message out? I don't think the Democrats are having trouble getting their message out. I think they're having trouble combating their message against the Republicans' messaging, which is something a battle they never had to fight before. Yeah. Before they would just say whatever, and then that was the only message you heard because they controlled all the media outlets, and so you couldn't really get a Republican message out. Now that Republicans can get their message out, people are looking at both, and it looks like they're choosing the Republican message.
I'll give her this, Gwen Moore, congressman from Wisconsin there. I'll give her this. She listed some really prominent right-leaning media. But beyond that, that's it.
Yes.
I mean, it's not as if she's like, oh, let me give you the laundry list, and I just gave you a couple examples. She gave you the whole list.
All of it. So
I think what you're saying, though, is true, Brad, that the overall media landscape has shifted because it's shifted away from TV. Mm-hmm. You know, when the TV stations were the conglomerates, they controlled everything. Maybe not the local news so much, but the national news, they controlled the national narrative. They almost did it with the internet, too, with the social media sites, because so many people get their news through social media, and there's 5 or 6 maybe total social media if you include YouTube in that, which it's not quite social, but it's where people go. If you include all of the major ones where people kind of watch stuff and consume information, the left had controlled all of them up until Elon Musk bought Twitter. And that cracked the piggy bank.
Yeah.
I mean, it broke open, and then Zuckerberg was like, I'm not really involved in this either. Let me come to the inauguration.
He said, whoa. I don't want to get in trouble here.
Exactly. So things have shifted. And so the poll question is sort of related to that. It's really more about American culture, though. Do you think it's shifting? Let us know. We'll monitor that throughout the show. As usual with my hosting days, I like to talk about polling, and I like to talk about the direction of the country, the direction of politics. And I pulled this article up from USA Today. The title is this. Keep in mind, I just said USA Today. This is an opinion article from USA Today. Democrats hate Trump. Polls show it's not enough to beat the GOP, though. It says, with midterm elections just about a year away, the signs of a blue wave are looking, well, grim. At least that's what the polls are showing. Democrats have spent much of 2025 trying to dust off their defeats last November and figure out how to stay relevant in a federal government they no longer control. Side note here, that is why I think they are so willing to die on this hill of government shutdown. They probably are going to lose this battle in terms of public opinion. That's the way it looks like it's shifting anyway. It's happening slowly. It's not going to happen overnight. But we're 20 days in, and it is kind of starting to shift that way, it looks. But they are willing to just die on the hill because they can't do anything. They can't win the messaging war. They can't win through the courts anymore. They keep getting slapped down because they're trying to use activist judges to get things done. That's not working, although it is, they're still trying it in certain parts. But it's just, they're so frustrated. If you're trying to use your power and it's not working, that's where Democrats are right now. That's where 30%, at least 35% of the country is. That's like the hardcore, never vote red, always vote blue, no matter who. Democrats are frustrated right now. But there's a lot of people in the middle that are going, well, I'm not really a part of that, but I'm not a Republican. Where do I land? Anyway, this kind of talks about those people too. It says the problem is most Americans aren't impressed with what they're seeing. Democrats continue getting historically low marks among voters, and it's hard to see them turning things around by November 2026. The Democrat Party was in a much better position to take back Congress during President Donald Trump's first term. And it's helpful to compare where the party is now versus its standing in 2017. I talked about this on my show over the weekend, but I pulled more clips from Harry Enton talking on CNN about where Democrats stand now in the polling versus this exact moment in Donald Trump's first term going into the first midterm.
2018, right? Because that's sort of the baseline. That was, of course, the first Trump term. That was where Democrats were sort of keeping pace. You go back to April, look at the generic congressional ballot. What'd you see? You see +3 Democrats in 2025 in April. You see +3 Democrats back in April of 2017. Now jump over to this side of the screen. What happens? Well, the Democrats are no longer keeping pace with the pace that they were setting back in 2017, 2018. You look back in 2017, you saw that the Democrats had leaped up to an 8-point advantage. I remember covering this. I remember a lot of folks, including myself, saying, you know what, Republicans look pretty decent right now in terms of the fact that they had the House, they had the Senate, they had the presidency, but things were likely going to flip. And I was looking for the same signs this year. The bottom line is it hasn't happened, Kate Baldwin. It hasn't happened. Democrats have stayed basically steady. They have fallen off the pace. Democrats were way out ahead back in 2017 on the generic congressional ballot. And now we're basically looking at Democrats ahead. But again, they are so far in back of the pace that they set back there. And so I think what a lot of folks are seeing, folks like myself, are saying, wait a minute.
Okay, so what does that speak to? This speaks to the effectiveness and popularity of Donald Trump, ultimately, is what this speaks to. Going back to this USA Today article, it says a recent analysis of polling data by NBC News shows what a pickle Democrats are in ahead of next year's midterms. Of course, in the next year, many things could change for Democrats and Republicans. Very true. As of now, however, the wave Democrats achieved in 2018 looks out of reach. Democrats got their shutdown, but they gave Trump and Doge a big win as of October 27th, or 2017. The Real Clear Politics average on the generic congressional ballot showed a 9-point lead for Democrats at this point. Harry Enton, if you're just listening to that very closely, I know there's a lot of numbers, but if you're listening to that very closely, he actually gave more favorable numbers than these because he's using just CNN data mostly. Now, he'll use some averages sometimes, But this article from USA Today is using a bigger average from Real Clear Politics, and it actually shows things are worse for Democrats than even what he was saying there. As of October 17th, things don't look quite so rosy this time. The same RCP average shows that Democrats are only up. Get the comparison here.
Yeah.
Harry, I'm going to say it again here because I know we're numbers. It's tough to listen to. But Harry Enton said, at this point in 2017, Democrats were ahead on a generic ballot by 7 points. At this point, they're ahead by 3, is what he said.
Yeah.
NBC News' sort of conglomerate and RCP average said that at this point, Democrats were ahead by 9 points.
So more.
And are only ahead in the average right now by 1.6 points. That's within the margin of error.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost tied. So you're talking, this is really bad news. When you are the party of resist, you need to have big numbers of people going, I don't like this. I don't like what's happening. Or at least if you're indifferent, you're kind of indifferent with your nose turned up. Mm-hmm. And that is not happening. Earlier this year, the party, as in the Democrat Party, scored its lowest positive rating, 27%, in the history of NBC News' poll. And even though Republicans aren't wildly popular either, they continue to outscore Democrats, even though they're in power. That's rare. Mm-hmm. In 2017, the Democrats had the advantage. And as an aside, it says, for the liberals who like to point out and laugh, that Trump's approval rating is in order. Since the end of July, Trump's second term approval is higher than that of former Presidents Barack Obama and George W. Bush at the same time during their second terms. Now, we talked about resist. Here's what USA Today says. Not only is the party unpopular, an October CBS News YouGov poll found that 64% of those surveyed used the word weak as the top word to describe Democrats. You want to know why they're dying on this government shutdown hill? It's one of the only things they can do. They don't really care. They're just trying to do something.
Trying to not look weak.
So what's a Democrat to do? The answer seems to be fight and resist, which is exactly what they're doing at any turn they can. Congressional Democratic leaders are banking that the ongoing government shutdown, nearing its third week, it's now in its third week, will make them look tough and strong. Yet, forcing the government to a standstill is a risky move. Mm-hmm. And it's already starting to sour for Democrats. This isn't me. This is USA Today.
Yeah.
At first, voters seemed to pin more of the blame on Republicans and Trump. That gap is narrowing quickly, given that it is pretty obvious that it's the Democrats' fault for not signing on to a simple bill that would keep the government running while the parties work out their differences. Only 6 points now separate the Republicans from the Democrats as to which party deserves the shutdown blame. That's an older poll. What you just heard in the first hour that I played from Harry Enton says that it's pretty much even. Over the weekend, Democrats went into full resistance mode with the second round of No Kings protests across the country, and Democrats may detest Trump, but that alone will not build the wave they'll need in 2026. I say all that because I love polling, first of all, and I love data, but because these midterms are going to be very, very important. If we are indeed in a time of change, like we all kind of feel like we are, like this is going to be a time that hopefully you look back on and say, oh man, you should have been alive in the Trump era. Come over here, grandson, and let me tell you what that was like. We all hope that that's the case, because then, A, we will have come out the other side better, and then B, we'll know that this isn't just a permanent crazy that we're in, because it is very chaotic right now in America. Two very, very different sides. But I'm going to make the case to you in the next segment that we are actually about to undergo, and this actually doesn't have to do with Donald Trump. That's what's amazing about it. We're about to undergo a real political earthquake. And I'm talking politics, not culture. That's the poll is culture shifting. I'm talking politics here. That you're talking a major political upheaval that is in the works right now that could shift the center of gravity politically for a generation. I mean it that big. I mean it that big. So if you're listening right now and you're like, okay, he's got my attention. Good. That was the goal. I'm trying to get your attention because I really am convinced, as somebody who watches data and watches polling and watches all this stuff to see what the direction is, that this thing that I'm going to share with you, which you may already know a little bit about, but I'm going to kind of bring it all together in the next segment to show you how this center of gravity is going to shift rightward for an entire generation based on what's happening right now. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. I'll come back and I'll paint that picture for you, starting with a tweet from Stephen Miller. Stay here.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-234-0633. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now, 800-234-0633.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-234-0633. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-234-0633, or go to oxcarcare.com.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
we called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
They came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Sponsored by Progressive. We make the claims process easy so you could get back on the road in no time. It's why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive. See for yourself at progressive.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
All right, so I teased it up and said the center of gravity is shifting politically in America, and it's shifting rightward. I aim to prove myself right in this segment and show you exactly how that's happening and how it's not short-term. This is probably generational, and that is something to definitely keep an eye on. There are three ways this is happening, and none of them have to do with the polling on midterms. That's why I wanted to get that out of the way first, because a lot of people are looking at the polling on midterms for next year and saying, wow, that's actually pretty good for Republicans. Could they hold the House? Could they not? I don't know. Based on the polling, yeah, it's very possible they could. I've seen some data that suggests that the national vote, like the generic Dem versus Republican national vote, needs to be at about +3 for Democrats under the current situation to barely take back the House. Now, that goes down to individual races, mostly in those swing districts, but that's about where their watermark needs to be. And they actually want it to be a lot higher than that. Otherwise, it would be pretty close.
Does that math change with redistricting?
That's exactly where I'm going, Brad. That is number one in our stop on the way the politics of America are going to be shifting here shortly. And actually that's already started. So Texas has done it. Missouri is currently doing it. California is going to try to counter. Oregon might counter. I think Maryland maybe has one seat. But for the most part, it's Republican states that have the most to gain. Here's Harry Enton talking about how redistricting, which is happening now, could shift everything rightward and how many seats Republicans stand to gain.
That's what I was going to ask. One change from that cycle is also this mid-decade redistricting effort that we've been covering so much. You add that in, and what do you get?
Okay, so we add that, and we take a look at the national picture, but then we, of course, taking a look at the state legislators, right? They are potentially changing things, and there are two things that are going on here. First off, net mid-decade redistricting gains. If both sides max out at this point, there are more Republican gains possible than Democratic gains. Yes, the Democrats might try to counter a Texas and a California, but you go along in the different states, and basically Democrats run out of room where Republicans are able to gain and gain and gain. If both sides max out, we're probably looking at a GOP gain of +7 House seats.
All right, I'm going to write that down, a GOP gain of +7. Now, it doesn't mean that will be exactly what it is, because let's say it gets struck down somehow. There's some legal proceedings going on trying to stop that from happening in Missouri right now. Republicans continue to push on. Good on ya. So glad to see ya. Where were you in 2021? But it's okay. You're catching up now. Good job. Other states, Florida, Ohio, they are kind of waiting in the wings to see what we're waiting in the wings to see what they're going to do, and they are actually kind of dragging their feet a little bit. So are they actually all going to do this? Maybe not. I'm going to predict that they don't. But if they did, that's +7. Now, even if they don't do it this year, which would affect this midterms, they will do it eventually.
Yeah.
So let's say they wait until the next census or whatever, and they do it after 2030. This will happen at some point, but it may not just happen right now. They're being very bold by doing it right now. So let's say that's GOP +7. Okay, there you go. Now, that's the first one, redistricting. That's how the center of gravity is shifting. When I say center of gravity really quickly, what I'm saying is politics typically, Donald Trump aside, tends to find the middle and then moves from it to get elected. Yeah. So if you're running in a Republican district, you tend to find what is the middle so that I'm normal, and then I move toward what my district believes, and then I kind of find that spot. Same on the left, they kind of move to the left of middle, although there's a lot more way far left than there used to be on the Democrat side. But typically that's the way politics works, is the middle kind of controls everything, and everybody around it makes the laws, and the more the middle moves in one direction, then that's where the country goes. So that's the first one, is redistricting. The second is what's before the Supreme Court right now. Oral arguments were last week concerning the Voting Rights Act, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which would, well, right now it forces racial gerrymandering. So gerrymandering, drawing districts based on people's race, is currently the way that Voting Rights Act is interpreted. Yeah. And the Supreme Court is discussing either removing race from redistricting at all or changing the way it is. I watched that case very closely because I'm into this stuff, and it looked like to me that Gorsuch, Alito, Kavanaugh, and Thomas were all in favor of getting rid of it entirely based on race because it's racist. And then, of course, the other side would be Kagan, Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. They were all in favor of keeping it because I said this last week. Nobody actually cares about the race aspect of this. It's all the political. Right. That's only what people care about, including myself. I mean, I hate to say it, but that's why we're talking about it, because it affects the politics. So then you have these two justices in the middle that nobody really knows how they're going to land, Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett. And so people think that if one of them gets on board with gutting it, the whole thing will be gutted. If they don't, then they'll probably restrict it, which means that there's a lot of possible outcomes there. But let's say that they actually do remove the Voting Rights Act from law. The Supreme Court says, no, that's racist, or it's sunsetted. When you passed it in 1965, obviously race relations are different now than they were in 1965, so that law no longer applies. Here's how that would change the politics again in the direction of the GOP.
That doesn't even take into account the potential gutting of the VRA that is right now going to be in front of the Supreme Court. If you add that in, you could be looking...
The Voting Rights Act.
What? Yes, exactly right. The Voting Rights Act. If you add that in, then you could be looking about adding 10, 12, 15, 17 on top of this 7 seats. So I think a lot of folks like myself are looking at this. We're seeing, hey, wait a minute. Those national polls Democrats are not gaining the way that we expected.
Okay, so there's the numbers for you. He said on top of redistricting, which was saying, we're saying 7, that could add 10, 15 seats. You're talking about, if you take even a rather conservative approach there, you're talking about 20 to 25 or more seats that would shift Republican in the House.
Yeah.
And you're talking about semi-permanently there. I mean, nothing's ever permanent. But you're talking about that would move those seats for a generation to the right. And could Democrats ever catch up? No, they could not catch up in the current environment unless there's some sort of sweeping issue that everybody in America goes, oh, wait, moving back left here. But that doesn't happen that often, especially in the current climate.
Well, in the with their current politics and their current climate, they would be hosed. They would have to change the core of their politics and their political beliefs to become more moderate.
You got it. You got exactly what I'm going for, Brad. If this happens, Democrats would have to see the writing on the wall. As a party, as voters, whatever. You'd have to see the writing on the wall and say, at the current state of things, our current stances on social issues, economic issues, whatever it may be, we will never win again. So they will have to move right. They'll have to go back to being something like blue dog Democrats, or the moderates in the party would have to take back over. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I know that the far left part of the party would just wither on the vine. And we're staring this down right now. This actually is happening. Now, there's one more aspect of this. I'm going to read the Stephen Miller tweet that I mentioned going into this segment. He says, as of, this was just a couple days ago, posts a thing about the Voting Rights Act and a map of what it would change. So you're hearing it, but you can't see this. Democrats in the South would face almost a complete wipeout if the Supreme Court guts the Voting Rights Act. Stephen Miller says, how many people just realized that Dems had as many as 20 extra seats based on years of unconstitutional race-based gerrymandering? 20 extra seats for my entire lifetime.
That's a heck of a way
Brad's
to put that.
entire lifetime, that they've been using this stuff for a long time. The redistricting, too. Why does the GOP have so much more room to gain? Because they haven't been playing that game. They haven't been playing that game as well as Democrats have. So Democrats can max it out a little bit more, but Republicans can max it out a lot more. So they have a lot more to gain. Same is true of the Voting Rights Act. There's one more aspect of this that nobody's talking about, though, because those two things are actually happening right now. They're not theoretical. They're happening. But Stephen Miller also revealed that Democrats got 20 to 30 seats from counting illegals in the census. Nobody's talking about that one yet. 20, in his quote is, 20 to 30 of House Democrat seats wouldn't exist except for illegal aliens counted in the census.
That's crazy.
Now, that's another one that's going to be before the Supreme Court. I can't tell you exactly when, but I do know that that's making its way up and probably will be decided by the Supreme Court. And if they decide to narrow that or eliminate that in any way, again, that adds more seats to Republicans. And then you're talking about what I said at the beginning of the segment and the end of the last, generational transformation of politics.
Well, is it really a generational transformation of politics, or is it a shift to an actual representation of the people of the United States?
Well, both of those things are true. You could put it either way, and both would be true, because it is a shift, but it's a shift back to the way things really would be on an even playing field.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been.
Because what I'm looking at what you're telling me, especially with those last few things, the Democrats have been using the law to their advantage. It's not illegal what they've been doing unless the Supreme Court strikes it down. They've been using the law to their advantage. Same thing with counting illegals in the census. That's legal right now. So it's not like they're doing illegal things, but that's a misrepresentation of their voting base to maintain power and to make their party seem bigger and more popular than what it actually is. Because if that changes and everything shifts to the right, that means that the United States was being misrepresented based on a couple things that get corrected legally.
Brad, I'm glad that you said that, because my hope was going in, like, I don't host every day, obviously. When Annie has a day off, I step in and we have some fun. And I love talking about this kind of stuff. My hope was in sharing that I would be able to paint it well enough to show how big of a deal that would be. Because the whole message of the entire Democrat Party, if that's true, will have to shift. It'll have to completely change. And what does the country look like if you no longer have the media and the Democrat Party saying really radical, far-left progressive stuff all the time? I don't know. It's been like that my whole life.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what a shift of the political center to the right that hard, this quickly would look like. But I think it's something that we have to watch, because it's the kind of thing that actually does change the culture. It changes the politics and everything downstream from that. So thank you, Brad. I hope that kind of makes sense. That was my attempt to paint what's happening in politics in America right now and how it's probably going to affect the next generation. It's a huge, huge deal. Anyway, we'll take a short break, and we'll come back with something maybe a little bit lighter, still politically related. Arnold Schwarzenegger. We got some sound of him talking about wanting to give you a new holiday. Stick around for that.
Do you realize you're signing up for 50 plus years of experience when it comes to real estate when you work with the Dittamore Group? You can call 618-531-4652. 618-531-4652. If you've got a real estate transaction coming up in your life, you want the best. You want the Dittamore Group. If you're looking to list your home in the next, I'm going to say even like year, you want to have the Dittamore Group, Tammy or her team, Zach and Pat, Abby and Trisha, come to your home and tell you, here's where you need to focus your time and also your dollars to get it ready to sell. And here's where you don't want to waste any of that time and money. They're going to guide you in a way that makes you feel very comfortable and prepared to list your home for top dollar. And when they take it from there, you're going to be really grateful that you did hire the experts for this experience. They work in Illinois and Missouri. They have an extensive knowledge of the markets that they are working in, and they are the #1 team and the #1 office in the Metro East. 618-531-4652, thedittamore.com.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
This is Todd Krenz with Krenz Financial Group. For over 6 decades, we've helped St. Louis families and businesses plan with purpose and live with confidence. We work closely with professionals in healthcare, from doctors and nurses to medical sales in biotech and pharma. Our team helps you navigate complex financial decisions like retirement plans, disability insurance, consolidating old 401ks, and understanding stock options or RSUs. We make the process clear so you can focus on what you do best. Your goals, our mission. Start today at kfgadvisors.com.
Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Servicing. Member FINRA/SIPC. Krenz Financial Group is not a broker-dealer.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
All right, who likes a party? I like a party. Ryan, you like a party? That's a yes. He has a mouthful of drink, so he can't say anything, but he likes a party. We are having a 25th anniversary party. It's at Lit Cigar Lounge. If you want to go to that, you are invited. What you have to do is you have to go on to 97.1 Talk talk.com/events and RSVP. Now, that will cost you nothing, but there'll be apps and music and hanging out, and we'll be broadcasting, and it'll just be everybody from 97.1 there celebrating our 25th anniversary. We'd love to see you there, so make sure you go to 971talk.com/events and register RSVP there. Like I said, it costs nothing. The VIP tickets are gone. They went first, but there are RSVPs left, so please do that and come hang out with us. We're running a YouTube live chat poll right now. Is the American culture shifting? And we got 3 options: yes, rightward; yes, leftward; or no, it's not moving. We want to know what your thoughts are on it. I've got a couple comments starred over here, and I'm going to try to pull one up right now and read it to you. Ender says, I disagree. I do think culture is shifting, and I think it's rightward. However, it's due more to a pendulum swing than any actual reckoning. The left is so insane, so people are backing away. Do you agree with Ender? Do you have a difference of opinion? Jump on our chat, vote in the poll, leave us a comment, and I might read it on air. The time is 1:38. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
From Cottleville to Maryville, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
I'll be at the party Thursday, but I'll be listening to this song in a corner by myself with my feet up and sunglasses on with a hoodie.
You can smoke a stogie too?
Maybe. Or I'll pretend I am because it looks cool.
Yeah.
No,
For the look?
Yeah, just for the look. And I'll just be begging people to bring me mozzarella sticks because I'm not going to be talking. I'm just going to be too cool.
It's not actually a stogie. It's a mozzarella stick with a
it's
little bit of marinara.
It is on fire. All right, you want another holiday? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger thinks you should have another holiday. Here's what he's proposing.
We're talking here about saving democracy. What I suggest that the way we save democracy nationwide is to really have a proposal like, for instance, the Save Democracy Act. It's just an idea where we go and make Election Day a holiday so that everyone has time to go out and go to the election.
Well, again, this is something Democrats are all for and Republicans are all against.
There's a second point. Okay. Second point is you have to have fair redistricting, to have independent redistricting commission in each state all over the United States.
Yeah.
And number 3,
except they won't do it.
And number 3, to have a voter ID, so that when you go and vote, people should know that you are that person.
Yes.
Those are all things that they have back in Europe.
So a few different points he's making there. The last one, voter ID, seems like so no-brainer that I'm not sure how you could be against that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that he would say the first one and everybody would clap, and then he'd say the second one, everybody clapped. He's like, voter ID. No claps.
But Bill Maher's like, yes, of course.
Yeah.
So, okay. The one about the Independent Redistricting Commission, great idea.
I like the idea.
Love the idea. Doesn't work.
No.
You know why? It already didn't work. They already had them.
Right.
They didn't work.
What ends up happening with an independent council, and I'm using air quotes for those of you listening on the radio, not watching on YouTube, independent councils are never independent because what will end up happening is a partisan of one party or the other will take over that council and shift that council. And they'll say, oh, yeah, we're just doing everything independently. But what ends up happening is you get a very biased district, and there's no recourse because it's a bureaucracy for the voters to change that.
Exactly. So you can't. So even if you don't like it, you can't change it once you add it. Mm-hmm. And they don't work because right now there are several states with these. California is one of them. Well, California has like 40% Republican voters, maybe even higher than that. But 40% of those districts aren't Republican. So how do you decide what's fair? What's the metric that you even are using to decide what's fair? Even if you are completely nonpartisan,
it's such a subjective standard.
You have to figure out what fair even means. So it's a great idea. It's a nice thing to be able to go on a talk show if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger and say, we should do this. And then people go, yeah, well, that sounds great, because it does sound great. It's just, in practicality, it's literally been done and didn't work. So I don't really know what else to tell you there, Arnold, or people who argue for that, because it's a nice thing to say and it always sounds good.
Yeah.
But then once you dig in a little bit, just like so many bad arguments, you dig in a little bit, you find out, oh, the substance went away immediately. The first thing, though, that he said there was making a national holiday out of vote day, election day. And I will say there's a few different issues that I have with that. One is that, are you just talking about in the general election for national elections? Are you talking about state elections? Or are you talking about any election? Because there's a lot of elections throughout a year, and that would be a lot of holidays.
Yeah.
But let's say he's just talking about federal elections that happen once every 4 years or 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
Either way, let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that's what he was saying. What do you think about that proposal?
I have no problem with it. I think that I think the excuse that it's really hard to go vote is a cop out. That's not an excuse. I know that your employer is supposed to allow you off work to go vote and then come back. That is in the law. So you can't say, well, my employer won't let me go vote. I got to go to work, blah, blah, blah. No, if you want to vote, you can make your way to the polling place and vote. I am very much for it, provided it's a one-day thing and we get rid of all mail-in voting.
Oh, I like your terms, and they will be acceptable. I will accept that. We will pass that along. But here's my argument against it. And this actually came mostly from when Jay Ashcroft was the Missouri Secretary of State. He went on one of our shows. I don't think it was Annie's. It might have been Reardon, but it might have been Mark Cox too. I don't remember. He was talking to somebody here, and I listened to him talk about that subject because people would talk about it on the state level too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, should we make Election Day a state holiday and stuff? And he was like, here's why that's a bad idea. Everybody thinks that it would make turnout higher. He said he thinks, and data suggests, they would actually do the opposite because when is Election Day always? What day of the week?
It's on a Tuesday.
People would take off Monday and make that super long weekends and do a lot of travel, and they would actually miss Election Day, is what they think would happen. Furthermore, so it would drive down turnout, and you're probably driving down turnout of people who are the most mobile. So they're already able to go to the polls more, and they're traveling. But he also said that he thinks that when there's been trials of this, because there's always little pockets that have tried these things, that they have a hard time getting election workers because people have the day off, and because they have usually, and then we're talking about longer weekends, people just aren't as willing to do it. And I can't tell you exactly why that is, but that he cited that several times. He said, look, you just have a harder time getting people to work the polls when it's a holiday. You'd think, again, there would be a reverse. You'd have more people available to work the polls.
But people don't want to work on their day off.
I guess that's what it is. I don't know. But I thought both of those points kind of stuck with me, and I'm like, yeah, that rings true. I haven't seen it in action, but it sounds like it would be.
Well, how quickly would it become like an American holiday, like a 4th of July or Veterans Day or Memorial Day, where people are like, all right, so it's Election Day, we'll throw some flags out, put some red, white, and blue lights on our house, and barbecue and invite friends over.
Yeah, it would become that, although it's November usually. So
right,
I don't know.
I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. I think what Arnold's saying there is, for the most part, nice ideas that under scrutiny just don't seem to really stand up a whole lot.
I think what he's saying there is a great starting point. If we think that we have an issue, and if these are some issues, let's start here and start talking about how we can implement something that will get close to that and accomplish the goals that we want.
Yeah. I should end with this as we wrap up this segment and move back into I don't know what we're going to do Wiggins America next, but there was one more topic that Ethan had that I said, we got to talk about that. It's about Elon Musk and Kamala Harris and the relationship therein. I'm going to highlight this comment, though, as we go to break here. Joe says, didn't Arnold call all of us schmucks? Yes, he did.
During COVID.
During COVID, man, he called all of us idiots for questioning anything. Get the vaccine.
He told us to stay home from, he's like, what's the big deal about leaving, as he's smoking a big, expensive cigar in his jacuzzi in his multi-million-dollar home.
Which is exactly what Lit Cigar Lounge is going to be like this Thursday for me. Smoking a stogie. I'm going to find some water, even if it's a puddle. I'm going to take a bath in it. That's a good bookend to remind you that we have a party this Thursday. So 971talk.com/events if you want to RSVP. Stick around.
Hey, it's Shannon Green from Fox News. I want to wish congratulations to you for 25 years. I don't think I'll ever catch up to you. I mean, in greatness or in number of years, I wish you at least 25 more. It is my pleasure to visit with you each week, and I wish you all the best.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/free. QUO.com/free.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Missouri can count on.
Get this, 42% of baby boomers don't even know how much money they have in their nest egg. If you're not sure where you stand in terms of getting ready for retirement, you should be listening to the All Financial Hour with Steve All.
Let's sit down and talk about your questions, because I think that's the most important thing that it is out there. It's what questions do you have?
Tune in to the All Financial Hour with Steve All, Saturday mornings at 6, right here on 97.1 FM Talk.
When it comes to roofing, you can't go wrong with Corel Roofing. Mark Cox here. My friend Curtis Corel came out, looked at my roof, worked with my insurance adjuster. I got a new roof, new gutters, and even new screens on some of my windows. Curtis specializes in working with insurance companies. Even if you've been denied, he's often able to work with these insurance adjusters to find a way to get it covered. Here's something else Curtis tells me. With cooler weather coming, you need to be aware of something. Roofs cannot be installed if the temperature dips below 45 degrees. Some companies go ahead and do this anyway, but you're going to have problems down the road. So if you're concerned that your roof won't make it through the winter, call Curtis Corel today. Corel Roofing has crews with over 20 years of experience. They pay attention to detail, and they can work with all the luxury line roofing as well. Call Curtis at 314-222-9529. That's 222-9529. Or on Facebook at Corel Roofing Co.
Family focused, faith filled, always on point. It's the Annie Frey Show.
Ethan's back. We're not going to play his intro to be nice to him, but he had a story that we didn't get to during Wiggins America / Ethan's Disappointing segment, and I invited Ethan back because I'm a gentleman.
That's why you did. I'm just going to referee you two. Have at it.
I don't like you. What do you have to say about that, Brad?
I'll allow it.
Point, Ethan.
Dang it. I didn't know it was that easy to get a point.
Yeah, I need those wristbands that the wrestling refs wear that hold up to give a point, one red and one green.
What's the Elon Musk Kamala Harris connection?
So, how do I best explain this? So, I guess I'll just go ahead and start with the beginning, and basically how this starts.
Start at the end, then do the beginning, then the middle.
How this started, I'm going to do it the exact opposite of how you would do it. Is to sum it up, Vice President Kamala Harris took a swipe at Joe Biden, calling the 2021 decision to exclude Elon Musk from the White House electric vehicle event a huge mistake. Comments that came from Biden while he is undergoing, I guess, the radiation therapy for prostate cancer. Harris, who appeared Tuesday at Fortune's Most Powerful Women Summit in Washington, D.C., said she believed the snub, which was widely seen as a political favor to organized labor, was mishandled and had lasting repercussions on the relationship, I guess, between Musk and their party. It was quoted, she said, "I write in the book that I thought it was a big mistake not to invite Elon Musk when we did a big EV event. I mean, here he is, the major American manufacturer of extraordinary innovation in this space. The former vice president has made numerous public appearances, we know, in recent weeks to promote 107 Days. Ryan, have you read 170 Days?
No, I'm only like 100 days in.
Okay, gotcha.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is she saying that she would have handled that differently and advised Biden to handle that differently and they chose not to?
That's what it seems like, which is kind of funny considering that during the campaigning, she said that she wouldn't do anything different than Joe Biden would have done in office.
Yeah,
but it's
on
funny.
The View.
All of the things that she's saying now, or I guess now all of those things are coming out. Oh, I would have done this differently. I didn't like that he did this. All that's coming out after the election. Isn't that funny how that works?
It is funny, especially in light, and I didn't know this was going to happen today, but I was driving in here and I saw that Karine Jean-Pierre is saying, well, I'm not even going to be a Democrat anymore. I want to be an independent. For the exact opposite reason that Kamala Harris is saying there. Not associated with Elon Musk or EVs.
How they treated him.
But how they treated Biden. Basically, she's saying there's a lot of things over and over. And I think this was going on behind the scenes. At least that's the rumor mill was always that Kamala and Joe Biden didn't get along and they didn't like each other and their teams didn't like each other. And now she's criticizing, finally openly criticizing a move. But Karine Jean-Pierre said they treated Biden. They being like the media and the establishment, not Republicans, but probably George Clooney is who she's talking about. They treated Biden so poorly that I can't even stand to call myself a Democrat anymore. She's becoming an independent.
Is she really talking about the media, or is she talking about like the people surrounding Joe Biden, like immediately surrounding Joe Biden?
It's not clear to me because they did this big Newsweek expose because she's releasing a book too, speaking of which. And she's trying to drum up a little bit of support for her book. Of course, that's what you do. But I'm not going to sit there and read that whole stinking interview with Karine Jean-Pierre. What good would that be? So I'm reading excerpts, and that's what I'm gathering, is that she's just so disappointed in the way the party treated Joe Biden. Because literally they kicked him out and forced him to not be the candidate, at least publicly. It looks he said he was bowing out, but we all saw what happened. We saw the letter in the newspaper from the Clooneys and the fundraiser the week before where they all went, uh-oh, this guy's in trouble. So it's just surprised that like those two different people would be having an opposite reaction to the Biden administration.
It is kind of funny. And when Jen Psaki was asked about this at the time, she basically kind of told you without telling you and said, I'll let you draw your own conclusion as to why Elon Musk wasn't invited.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think what maybe Kamala's doing, and maybe this is Kamala's recognizing, I should have done some of these things while I was in office with the president, but we don't know. We have zero idea what was going on behind the scenes, what her involvement was, what her leadership was. But I think perhaps she's saying, well, if that would have gone differently, if we would have invited him there, maybe his involvement with Trump in that the most recent election would have looked a little differently.
So. You're not going to hear me say this very often, but Kamala is actually right about this.
Yeah.
They should have invited Elon Musk to an EV subsidy party or whatever.
Feels
that
like
thing
a slam dunk.
But the thing about Joe Biden is he's always been Union Joe, and Tesla doesn't use unionized workers.
But she's saying politically it was even a stupid move, and you're saying politically that's why he did it.
That's why he did it.
But they did this over and over, and I don't know that Kamala would have done much different. She seems like she kind of go with the flow with whoever's around her. But they did this to RFK.
Mm-hmm.
All these things cost them a lot of votes. I mean, the
Purity
RFK
tests.
thing, he says he reached out directly to their campaign and said, I just want to talk to you about some things. If I'm going to drop out of the race or whatever, I want to talk to you about where I'm coming from.
They didn't respond, right?
They said absolutely. They wouldn't grant him a meeting. And Trump said, yeah, well, come over, have a meeting. And then he ended up being his Health and Human Services secretary.
There's a world in which just a few small tweaks are made where Donald Trump is not the president right now. And it really felt like the Democrats just fumbled the bag.
With easy things like this, too, because there's a lot of other stuff, but those are the easy ones.
Yeah.
All right, short break. We'll be back at the 2 o'clock hour with a little bit of fun.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan, 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. when you reach out to Stewie to schedule a conversation, maybe you call him or you text him, you're looking for a mortgage. So maybe it's for a new home purchase. Maybe you are looking to refi your current mortgage because you got it when rates were super high and you'd love to lock in one of the lower rates now that they've dipped down just a little bit. Makes sense, doesn't it, to save all of that money in interest? Maybe you even keep your monthly payment the way it is and you lower the years that you have left on your mortgage. Regardless, if you want a bagel loan from Stewie, that means that you want a bagel loan, a mortgage that comes with no dollars in closing costs. This is a really incredibly smart move to make. And if you want to learn more about it, the ins and outs of how you can get your new mortgage, your refi mortgage, your cash out refi mortgage without paying any closing costs, you reach out to Stewie at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
License number E2014A.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Dad, that's what Grandpa Rip always said.
That's right. 50 years ago, Grandpa started Grasser, and whenever a customer called, he'd smile and say, "Hey, it's good to see you."
Hey, it's good to see you.
It was his way of treating people like neighbors, not numbers. That's why we still say it today.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Recently, a new client called me and started by saying, "Mr. Morgan, I really need your help, but I'm just a nobody." Those words stunned me, and I immediately called him back, and we're now helping him and his family after a terrible accident. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Everybody who comes to our firm at their time of need is a somebody. I grew up poor, but my grandmother was like a queen to us. At Morgan & Morgan, our goal is to level the playing field for you and your family at your time of need. The insurance company has unlimited money and resources. You need a firm who can fight them toe-to-toe. For right at 30 years, we have fought them in courtrooms throughout America. Our results speak for themselves. And always remember this, everybody is a somebody, and nobody is a nobody. Visit forthepeople.com to learn about our firm. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
With this season's drought and high temperatures, demand for new sprinkler system installs is at its peak. Even with a little rain in the forecast, now is the absolute best time to put a new system in place, setting you up for a healthier, greener lawn next year. Don't let your lawn go through another season looking the way it does today. Take control now, and you'll never have to worry about the damage heat and dry weather can cause again. Call 636-695-7800 or visit ProOutdoor.com to schedule your new system installation today.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
They're back in Israel. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump's Mideast envoy and son-in-law arriving today to meet with Israeli officials and keep a ceasefire agreement moving forward after weekend fighting in Gaza, where Hamas killed 2 Israeli soldiers.
The IDF says Hamas militants popped out of a tunnel in southern Gaza before firing RPGs at an excavator, killing those soldiers. In another incident nearby, Israeli forces were wounded by Hamas sniper fire. The event prompted Israeli strikes across the Gaza Strip that killed dozens of Palestinians. Israeli officials say they are resuming the American-led ceasefire, and Hamas leadership says they're committed to the agreement. For now, things appear to be back on track ahead of what Israeli media says will be a visit by Vice President J.D. Vance to Israel tomorrow.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv just getting reports Israel has received another hostage body from the Red Cross in Gaza. That would leave 15 bodies still to be returned. A Fox affiliate is reporting a man under arrest at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport accused of a possible mass shooting plot. Fox's Madison Scarpino.
A convicted felon was allegedly planning to shoot up the Atlanta airport today, the world's busiest airport, armed with an AR-15.
A gun reportedly still in the man's car when he was stopped by police inside the airport. A briefing expected soon. A federal judge just announcing she plans to temporarily block a Trump policy that requires states to remove gender ideology content from sex ed materials in order to obtain federal grant funding. Lawyers for 16 Democrat-led states and Washington, D.C. argue that new policy would effectively mean editing transgender kids out of their curricula. The judge says she'll issue a preliminary injunction as that legal fight continues. America is listening to Fox News.
This month, Pure Talk is supporting Canines for Warriors, a terrific organization that trains rescue dogs and then pairs them up with combat vets struggling with PTSD. This is why I switched to Pure Talk. Sure, I like the unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data for just $25 a month, and you will too. But you will love being in business with a company that shares your values. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
All about sunshine as we go through our Monday afternoon. 72 for the high. It's a little chilly if you're caught out in that wind. Some of the wind gusts pushing 30 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, chilly. Once the sun goes down, the winds fade quickly. 52. Tuesday, sunny. Gets a little breezy during the afternoon and cool. 66. 64 and sunny on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Byrne.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Oh, yeah, it is the moment you have been waiting for.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
Annie's out. Ryan and Brad are in.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
This is the Mannie Frey Show.
I love that open. Although it does mean that Annie's not here, and I don't love those days. It's fun to host, though. Thanks for being here for the Monday after No Kings. We've been talking about that quite a bit today. We're supposed to have a special guest this hour, actually leading off the hour, but I don't know where she is. So I'm just going to kind of put the call out and hope that my voice is going into the lobby and see if that's enough to remind her that she's supposed to be on the air right now. But I will also tease that we have an interview coming up with Joel Penton. There is a movie. So as we've been talking about quite a bit here, we have a party coming up on Thursday night. It is our anniversary party. We're 25 years old. 97.1 has been around for 25 years. You probably hear all the different congratulations that are running across the station for the entire month. That's been a lot of fun. But the party at Lit Cigar Lounge is Thursday. Well, when I booked this interview, it was a couple months ago, and I saw this movie coming out and thought, oh, this will be great to promote this movie because it's a real unique theatrical release. It's nationwide, but it's just one day. So it's just Thursday. That's the only day you can go see this movie. Dang. It's called Off School Property, and we'll talk to Joel Penton about that movie later in this hour. And I guess unless our guest comes in, we're just going to have to start doing some different content. So I pulled the Democrat Party of 2000 once again.
Oh, here we go.
Now, I did 3 segments on this a couple weeks ago, just highlighting the ways that the Democrat Party, in their own words, has changed from 2000 to now. So 25 years. But I don't know if we got through all of them, even in those segments.
I don't think we did.
There were a few at the end that I was looking at, and I said, I don't think we said that.
You said it was 50 pages long?
53 pages I went through of their platform. And obviously, some of it's the same, like their stance on abortion and certain like things about the size of government. Although they did mention shrinking the size of government, but overall, all their stuff is mostly about enlarging it through your tax dollars and through debt. But how about this one? This is from the Democrat Party platform of 2000. In their words, battling terrorism. Now, this one isn't like ironic because, oh, listen to where they've gone now, which is why I don't think I talked about this one because it's ironic for a different reason. But this is in August of 2000. They said whether terrorism is sponsored by a foreign nation or inspired by a single fanatic individual, such as Osama bin Laden. This was before the attack. Forward engagement requires trying to disrupt terrorist networks even before they are ready to attack. Isn't that wild? That he was that on the radar as a potential terrorist threat, that the Democrat Party platform would mention him by name in 2000? This was almost exactly a year before 9/11.
When did the attack? Was it Beirut that they attacked, that Al Qaeda attacked Marine barracks?
I know the attack and I know the name.
I'll have to look it up.
I can't connect those dots for you though. But isn't that? I mean, it struck me when I was reading this that it says, as president, Al Gore will tolerate no attack against American interests at home or abroad. Terrorists must know that if they attack America, we will never forget. We will scour the world to hunt them down and bring them to justice. Now, this is good stuff. I'm not like highlighting this because, they've changed so much. But it's just amazing to me that they would, in their one section on battling terrorism, which I'm not saying didn't exist in 2000. I'm just saying, for that to be in your party platform, was that big of an issue?
Here's why. Okay, I thought it was the Marine Corps barracks in Beirut. That was in 1983. That's not the right one. It was the USS Cole, which was October 12th of 2000.
Okay.
So that would have been right around this time. The time
you said that was October 12th?
12th of 2000.
This was August of 2000.
Right before that.
This was
but that would have been
before that.
But this is Bill Clinton was the president, right?
Yes.
So I think that may be why that would have been on his radar, because they would have had chatter.
Looking at it. But my point is that they were looking at it.
Yeah.
And they thought it was enough of a threat to put it in their party platform and name Osama bin Laden. That just surprised me. So now to a couple other things that were in there that I'm not sure we got to that are kind of like, oh man, look how much they've changed. Engaging former enemies. Democrat Party platform, 2000. Democrats understand that we must engage former enemies. This administration's efforts to design new relationships with the Russian Federation and China have been continuously subjected to every form of harassment and attack by the Republicans. But they've been in America's national interest, and they have been the right thing to do.
That is weird because even as late as Barack Obama's presidency, Hillary Clinton pressed the reset button, which I remember that photo op was awkward. But
yeah, she went to Staples.
Press the reset. Yeah, they kind of look at like, what are you doing? But press the reset button with Russia to re-engage with them.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, this is in their platform, and of course, geopolitical things change. So if you're defending Democrats, you say, "Well, that was a different era."
Yeah,
but it's still there.
But it was still Vladimir Putin.
Exactly. How about this? And this is all under the banner of immigration. Bill, and I think I may have mentioned this one. This may have been right about where we stopped. Building One America. Democrats believe that God has given the people of our nation not only a chance, but a mission to prove men and women throughout this world that people of different racial and ethnic backgrounds of all faiths and creeds can not only work and live together, but can enrich and ennoble both themselves and our purpose. So there's a little bit of Democrat in there, but there's also God.
Yes.
And the acknowledgement that men and women are different people. And that we could all work together despite those differences. Yeah. Okay. That's traditional Democrat stuff.
Let's all come together and work together. For sure. That's
It's just funny because the language is so different.
Man.
All right. Again, under the banner of immigration, because that was a little bit not quite that. It says welcoming our newest newest Americans. We believe in a major expansion of the Border Patrol and curbs on abuses of the asylum process.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Could you read that again?
Yeah, Democrat Party platform of 2000. We believe in a major expansion of the Border Patrol and curbs on abuses of the asylum process. As you may well know, for 4 years, from 2021 to 2024-5, Democrats and whatever the administration you want to call them, deep state or whatever, but they're run by Democrats at that point, were coaching illegal immigrants how to abuse the asylum process. And that is why we're in the mess we're in right now by having to deport so many people. But they allowed it. This might be some of the same people that wrote this, by the way, because it's not that long ago.
Yeah.
Saying that we should curb abuses of the asylum process. Was the asylum process being abused that bad in 2000?
Not near as bad as it was in the
Not
last
near
4
as
years.
bad as it was now. My gosh, but they wanted to curb it even then.
I wonder if that's this has to do with who their base is. Because when you listen to Republicans say, and really Trump Republicans say this, their main complaint with illegal immigration is they're coming in taking jobs away from American workers. Well, in 2000, Democrats were the party of the American worker. So it would make sense in 2000 that that's who they would lean in and defend.
Well, I want to acknowledge that our special guest has come in the middle of this segment, even though I was just right in the middle of a great point. But you're more important than that.
I say thank you. Thank you.
Tricia Siekman is here. Tricia
Hello.
Everding is here. And she has brought with her the special guest because Tricia's not the special guest.
No, this is Bernie Everding. Say hi. You want to be on the radio?
He is.
Do you say hi?
Oh, he's mimicking saying it.
Hi.
Oh,
What's
we
a
would just
cow
sit
say?
here and let him do it if the alarms wouldn't go off.
Mm-hmm.
He's acted like he knows how to talk, but he's just not saying the words. What's a cow say? What's a cow say?
Anything?
I think he sees himself on the screen.
Well, if you want to see a very, very cute baby, how old is he?
15 months.
15
Yeah,
months.
sorry.
Adorable.
I know
Man.
you guys are trying to do your job here,
No.
but he insisted we come in.
Well,
He
we
was
wanted
like,
you guys to come
kick
in.
down the door and.
Oh,
Can you tell him what a cow says? We've been practicing. Yeah.
Yay, noise is good.
I think they say
Moo, say moo. Oh, he's
He does. He
he's
sees
a winner either way.
He sees himself.
He's fascinated by all these lights, isn't he? He's looking around and seeing all these crazy lights.
He
everywhere
is, yes.
for the
It is
cameras.
warm in here today, y'all.
It is very hot in here. Oh, now he's talking. Now that we're all talking. Well, anyway, if you want to see an extremely, extremely cute 15-month-old baby, now is the time to get on the YouTube live stream.
Babe.
And Bernie's going to let us know how he voted on this question. Is American culture shifting, Bernie? And we're, of course, approaching this politically. I understand.
In his short 15 months, he says yes. Yes.
He says yes, but there's two options for yes, Bernie. So is it shifting rightward yes or leftward yes? Or is it kind of in the middle and not shifting at all?
He feels like it's shifting maybe slightly right.
Okay. Slight right for Bernie.
Bernie's a slight right.
Who is running everywhere right
He
now.
leans right. All right. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming in. Man, if I had time, I would just be hugging and holding your baby. I did not realize how much I missed babies. I told my wife this the other day, that I don't miss the baby phase, but whenever I see a baby, I'm like, babies! She's like, you want to have another one? I'm like, no. All right, we'll take a short break and be right back with Ethan's segment, whatever we're calling it today. That's next. Sports and Local on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
The Retirement Advisory Group online at retirementkey.com. Reach out to Thomas Helbig, to Bob and Tammy Kershaw, and talk to them about your retirement. If you're in your mid to late 50s, you're already thinking about it. You've been thinking, maybe you've planned your whole career, you're going to retire at 65. And now you're in your late 50s and you're like, could I retire at 62? Could I retire at right now? If that's the case, you want to make sure that whatever your plan is, that you're comfortable and confident in it, that you know that it's a realistic plan. That's the peace of mind that you need to have a worry-free retirement. And when you call 314-993-9494, you're going to be able to schedule a free sit-down consultation with the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group, where they can tell you how to create a personalized, structured income plan that is designed specifically for you. What to do with all the accounts that you have currently. Everything you need to know for your retirement, you can get from the Retirement Advisory Group. Find them online, learn everything you need to know right there, and call and make an appointment, retirementkey.com.
Now that we're getting older, we've been putting more thought into maintaining our health.
We knew the water we drink every day could be filled with contaminants, so
We called Leaf Home Water Solutions.
they came to our home and did a free water test and gave us the analysis right away.
We were shocked at what we saw.
They found heavy metals like iron and copper.
Our own tap water was putting our health at risk, but Leaf Home Water Solutions made it easy to get safer water from every tap and hose. A whole home solution.
They have more than 250 product combinations and designed a system that fits our needs and budget. The installation took less than a day.
With Leaf Home Water Solutions, our water is safer and healthier. When we drink, when we cook, when we shower, even when we garden.
We feel better about our health.
Thanks to Leaf Home Water Solutions.
Schedule your free home water test today at leafhome.com/free and save 15% on all home water treatment systems. That's leafhome.com/free for your free home water test and 15% off. leafhome.com/free.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-234-0633. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-234-0633. 800-234-0633. Or go to oxcarcare.com.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meyer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
Magic Merlin Baby Starfish Suit.
Oh, that one hit today of all days. It's totally random.
Okay, I was like, what does that have to do with today?
Well, baby Bernie was just in here.
Oh, understood. I never got that one, really.
There's not really
Magic Merlin's baby starfish?
Yeah, baby starfish suit. There is an actual thing that does that. It's like holds babies hostage.
You just put it in them and
you put them in it at night and they sleep kind of like a starfish, like with all their extremities fully out.
Okay.
Which you'd think would be uncomfortable, but they seem to love it and they sleep real well.
Does it keep them from? Is the idea it keeps them from rolling over?
Keeps them rolling over and keeps them from scratching themselves too. And you can trust that you don't have to worry about it, and they sleep well. At least ours did, and people like them.
That's cool.
I don't know why I made that into your open for this segment, but that is the.
I don't know why you do a lot of the things that you do, Ryan.
So I made it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is a weekend recap here for Ethan's Sports and Local, so I will go ahead and start with the No Kings protests.
Yeah.
They occurred. That's about all I got.
But did they happen locally?
There was a few that happened locally. There was I don't know. There was probably 8 or 9 in the metro area, the bi-metro, I guess, area. A couple in the Metro East. I think Alton, Edwardsville, and O'Fallon had them.
I'm genuinely impressed because if that was Saturday, this area was under a Noah deluge. It was just constant rain.
Rain, and more rain. And then there was a few also in the St. Louis area. But outside of that, from what I saw, I didn't see anything as far as violence breaking out or anything like that. I don't necessarily know what they were protesting, as you guys have mentioned, but they're allowed to do that. And they did that in what seems like a mostly peaceful way. So.
Apparently, there was violence that broke out in Portland and L.A.
I was speaking specifically to St. Louis.
I know. I'm just saying that I was watching for that this weekend to see if they turned into anything.
LA. Well,
and L.A. looked like a riot scene. I'm sorry, Portland looked like a riot scene. L.A. I think it was pocketed.
If you were a betting man and you had to put money on the most likely cities for there to have been violence to break out from the No Kings protests, would Portland have been number one?
It might have been on the list. Seattle, Northwest,
Chicago
would have been on my list. Although you never know. It's so random because it'll take just a couple crazies that start pushing the boundaries, and then if you got enough crazies behind them that they go,
they kind of rile them up.
Well, okay,
we're about the cause.
Well, let's tip over the car.
They get swept away in the emotions of the moment. But I think I would have put Portland first. There, to Ryan's point, it's the couple crazies that get them going, and Portland has a little bit more than a couple crazies.
That's why it's not hard to envision this being something that's paid. Because obviously, if you have 1,000 people that show up, obviously all of them are not paid. Nobody's saying that they are.
Get swept up in the emotions.
But if you are able to grab 20 people and give them $100 or $150 or whatever, and say, here, go create some chaos. Well, first of all, that's domestic terrorism, and the Trump administration is going to find you now, which before that wasn't happening. But it's not that hard to create a lot of chaos with just a few people, with a lot of emotion, a lot of anger at the fascist dictator that's running our country that was elected a few months ago. That to me, it's the easiest thing to do in the world. I mean, you could fund it without that much money, let alone if you had this NGO money. Anyway.
Swept up in the emotions.
Yes.
That's what happens to me after a couple of drinks at a wedding when Pitbull starts playing. Anyone else?
You were hanging on to that one.
I was really hanging on to it, and then you started talking again. I was like, no, I'm still going to get it in.
Yeah, good job.
St. Louis City's season concluded yesterday with a draw against Real Salt Lake. They played on Saturday night in the rain. Kudos to the people that went and toughed it out. Because
what did that crowd look like?
Spotty.
Yeah, I was figuring.
Spotty. But I will say this, something really cool during the game. I think it was in the pregame they announced this. They which you don't see this very often. They announced that their goalkeeper, Roman Berkey, was signing an extension through the 2027 season.
That's cool.
They announced it with a video in stadium rather than it getting leaked out to the public first or anything like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So the people in the crowd, it was their raw reaction first time seeing that. He's the best goalie in the MLS. Played in Germany for a long time. Very talented. So that's a big deal for the MLS, for St. Louis soccer. And so it's kind of cool, like seeing them do it in that fashion. So Roman Berkey is staying in St. Louis at least for the next couple of seasons. The Missouri Tigers had a thrilling overtime win on the road against Auburn this past weekend, 23-17 the final in double overtime. Bo Pribula had a 3-yard touchdown run in the second overtime that would give the Tigers the lead, and then they would shut down their offense in the second overtime, and that would seal the deal. Pribula threw for over 250 yards. He did have 2 interceptions, but it was not enough for the Auburn Tigers to overcome the Missouri Tigers. So now with the win, Mizzou is 6-1. They are 2-1 in the SEC, and Auburn isn't the best of opponents in the SEC, but they've lost against some really good teams, and that's one of the tougher places to play in the country at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And Mizzou pulled that one out. So this week, this is going to be a fun one. They play against Vanderbilt, who is ranked 10th in the country. It's been, I don't even know how long it's been since Vanderbilt's been ranked 10th in the country. I mean, quite literally, maybe 50 years. It has been a really long time. College Game Day, the College Game Day show, is going to be in Nashville this week for Vanderbilt versus Mizzou. So Mizzou will be featured in that, which will be kind of fun, good for the program.
Did you say that Missouri is ranked?
Missouri's ranked number 16 in the country.
Okay,
yes.
I missed that.
Yeah, they're actually sorry. They were 16th. Now they moved up to 15.
They moved to 15.
Yep.
So I'm totally a bandwagon fan when it comes to some of these local teams. Mizzou's definitely one of those. I mean, I'm from Illinois, so in the bragging rights game that used to happen all the time, I think doesn't the bragging rights game still happen?
Basketball, yeah. Bragging rights is basketball. Yes, that still happens.
I'm just saying, in that game, we used to always have parties and watch it because it was right before Christmas, and we just kind of make a thing out of it. And I used to love that game, but we'd always root for Illinois because we're from Illinois. But I feel so much, Brad, you could speak to this maybe. I feel so much more tied to Missouri now than I do Illinois, because there's so many, not that I was ever like a big Champaign-Urbana guy or anything, but just we're so St. Louis, we're so Missouri politics. I mean, I don't know why, but I feel so much more tied to the Missouri Tigers than I do the Illinois Illini
Fighting Illini.
Whatever they're called.
The Lighting Illini.
Yeah. I could see where you're coming from, but basketball, I'm diehard Illini.
Okay.
I've been diehard Illini. Football, I would always root for Mizzou because they were the closest team to me that was good because the Illini was so bad for so long. But they've got a decent team this year, so I'm fine myself. If I'm given the choice between the two teams, I'll lean Illinois. I'll lean Illini.
It is refreshing to have the two both be good again.
That
in
is
both
good,
football
yeah.
and basketball.
That doesn't happen
it's
a
great
lot.
for the area, and I think that both programs are going to be good for a while. They have the backings when it comes to the NIL funds. They have good coaches in both of the sports on both sides that are getting those programs in the right spot. So I think this is something to get used to, which is exciting for the area.
I feel bad for Auburn. Not that I wanted them to win, but they're my favorite team name city that's based on a color near brown.
I can understand why
You
that'd be hard for you. I'm sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. Illinois jumps back into the rankings despite not having played this week because there were so many upsets. They play Washington this upcoming weekend. That's a conference game in Washington. That just drives me absolutely insane. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the Blues also won this past weekend too.
Let's
So
go
good
Blues.
news there. Jimmy Snuggerud continues to light the lamp. Moving on to more local news. St. Charles City and St. Charles County have entered into a trade agreement involving the City Hall. The deal is set to hand over the current St. Charles City Hall building located on North 2nd Street to St. Charles County in exchange for the county
Cash
investing
considerations.
millions of dollars into key city projects in St. Charles. So basically, you're correct, Brad.
Cash considerations. That's
You're literally correct.
So okay, so they're not going to trade buildings because I was really worried about how that would look. Getting those buildings on the interstate, you got to put those little yellow flags on them.
According to the agreement approved by both councils, the county will pledge over $4 million for road work on the north end of Main Street, which they, will connect eventually to the new city center complex by the end of 2026. There's a bunch of construction going on down there right now. Additionally, the county also pledges $7 million worth of work on public streets in the River Point district and spending another, get this, $18 million to renovate the old city hall, including a new exterior and upgrades inside to bring it up to code. In total, this will near $29 million in exchange for the trade. So that is quite the cash consideration.
Just one more time. Who gets what in this trade? Just real briefly, because I kind of got lost in the details there.
St. Charles City is receiving the funds. St. Charles County is receiving the city hall.
Okay, so
the $29 million of funds that'll go towards projects, renovations, that's going to the city.
Okay.
In exchange for St. Charles County to take over, I guess, control ownership of City Hall.
Is it like that they own the building then? Or they just run it?
Deal is set to hand over the current St. Charles City Hall building to St. Charles County. That's what
good,
it says.
Good journalistic word there.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what that means.
A title in a deed. Will St. Charles City still be operating out of the City Hall?
I would assume so, but like I said, I read you what the story is saying.
Boy, that's a weird story. That just seems like there's going to be something down the line that we go, hey, remember when this happened? Well, then now there's this issue.
And now we're kicking the mayor.
Or something. I don't know what it will be.
Turmoil out west.
I would say put a pin in October 20th as the day you heard that story to go, remember on October 20th when they were swapping buildings for money? I don't know what'll happen. All right, stick around because next there is an opportunity to see a movie that is only on Thursday night, so we're pretending like we're not having our anniversary that same night. Joel Penton, Off-School Property, will be on the show next to talk about that film that's getting a nationwide release, including here in St. Louis for one day.
Home Shield Foundation Repairs, with an S.com, is the website to learn how Home Shield Foundation Repair can offer you their services that help level out that concrete at your home. They offer concrete lifting, which is an advanced and cost-effective solution to raise and level your concrete, also adding in minimal disruption to everything else surrounding that concrete. If you have a foundational issue in your garage, it might not seem like a foundation issue yet. It might just be a crack in the foundation of your garage. If you don't get that looked at and it turns into something worse, a lot of erosion underneath that concrete, you could have a really, really expensive problem on your hands. You can call Matt Hayes, have him come out and look at it, and he can tell you this is what it's looking like, and this is how I can fix it with a system called polyjacking, which takes a polyurethane foam injected under the concrete, raises it up, and levels it out, and comes with a 5-year warranty. For the safety hazards at your home or your place of business, call 314-227-9636. HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
Hi, I'm Nancy Cartwright. You may know me better as the voice of Bart Simpson. On Simpsons Declassified, we're diving into the mysteries that keep the Simpsons forever young. Have you ever wondered how the Simpsons regularly predicts future events? Who better to ask than the show's creators, performers, and writers, the celebrity guests? Be sure to follow and listen to Simpsons Declassified wherever you get your podcasts.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/free. QUO.com/free.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The YouTube live chat poll today is American culture shifting. Yes, rightward. Yes, leftward. Or it's not moving. You can vote on the Annie Frey Show YouTube channel where we have the poll up there. A couple of comments so far. Joe commenting saying there is a generational shift. I was talking to I'm gonna skip that one because Joe was being goofy on that one. Next one says from Chris says I believe it's shifting more right, really center, but it's been so far left that it has nowhere to go. But right, you can go ahead and comment on the YouTube live chat poll where we're going to be giving the answer in about 15 minutes. The time is 2:35. This time check sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Freedom has a frequency. 97.1 FM Talk. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Well, I got the opportunity to talk to Joel Penton off air here a little bit. We'll get into the movie, but first, you were what position did you play for Ohio State?
I played defensive tackle for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
02 to 05?
02 to 06. I redshirted my first year and then had 4 years.
Dude, and then the little bit different industry you're in now with movies.
It's a little bit. I don't know. Both. I played defensive tackle, and so I was always looking to impact somebody, and now we are impacting people in other ways.
Oh my gosh, you're such a pro. What a great way to start the interview. Well, Joel Penton is here. He is the founder and CEO of LifeWise Academy. And the reason we're talking to Joel is because you've got a new movie. It's called Off School Property. Explain this movie, Joel.
Yeah, well, Off School Property talks about the tragic tale of how decades ago our nation systematically removed Bible education from the public school day. It's had a disastrous effect on our youth as the Bible has been taken out of schools. But very few people realize that in 1952, a door was opened, something called release time religious instruction, which is a way for public school students to receive Bible education during school hours. It has to be off school property, privately funded, and with parental permission. But public school students really can receive Bible education as part of their public school day. And the film kind of explains all of that. It explains how the Bible was central to education in America. It's been removed, but now there's this opportunity to put it back in, and particularly through the organization I'm part of, LifeWise Academy, that gives communities across the country the tools to take advantage of this opportunity.
Joel, are you expecting all of us to accept the premise that our school system has gone downhill since then?
Well, if you're willing to look at the statistics and you're willing to think, yes, I expect you to believe it.
What about people who are going to yell, hey, what about separation of church and state? It sounds like legally that's what you're addressing even in the movie.
That's exactly right. What the movie lays out is that in many ways, no matter where you stand on the issue of separation of church and state, you would have to admit that what we do at LifeWise with Release Time is a manifestation of the separation of church and state, because it's off school property. That's the name of the film. So students are literally separated from the state school. It is privately funded, so it's separate from state dollars, and it's parent permitted, which means it's separate from state compulsion. And so this is a great way to create an option for families that want Bible education for their kids.
Now, Joe, I don't know if you get into all of this in the movie, but this is a topic that I have really been interested in and covered for a long time. This is something that I think has changed the fabric of the nation the minute that happened, that we said, oh, no, you can't teach any sort of Bible curriculum in schools. But that's not exactly what we're doing now. Like, explain, because you're the expert here, how are things changing in America right now for the better? Because we always talk about, gosh, things have been so bad. But I see good news on the horizon with this topic. Explain that.
Well, I think the pendulum, in a broad sense, culturally, I believe the pendulum is swinging back. I think this little experiment of secularizing everything and pushing the things of God into the margins has failed. I think people see that it has failed, and I think we're seeing, just even in the news, that people are now more curious and more open. And with this particular specific development of Release Time, the rapid growth of at least our organization, we set a goal to serve 25 schools by 2025. We're confirmed in 1,200 schools, serving tens of thousands of students across dozens of states. Parents have a real hunger for this. They now know that it was not wise to remove the foundation of all education and remove, the foundation of kids' lives. And so they're hungry. They want to reinstall this religious instruction, and we're seeing the hunger, and now we're starting to see the fruit as well.
So this is very exciting to me. When I saw your press release come through, I said, oh my gosh, we got to talk to Joel, because Off School Property is a movie after my own heart. I love this topic, and I think it's so important to the future of the country. There's so many battles we're fighting for right now, but this one is battling for the next generation, the generation after that. The movie Off School Property. Here's one of the reasons I was so encouraged by it. 700 movie theaters carrying this movie. I mean, that's not a small release, Joel.
No, it's not. We're so grateful to be partnering with Fathom Events for this nationwide release. I think that's one other indicator of just the interest that's out there, the hunger. The people are looking for solutions. They're looking to get involved. And so I believe all 50 states, over 700 theaters. In fact, the number of theaters grows daily. And then, but it's just the one night event, October 23rd. So that's a message for all your listeners. Make sure you get your tickets. That's the time to see it in theaters.
Yeah, so that's why we're talking to you now. So if people want to see this film, Off School Property, Joel Penton is the founder and CEO of LifeWise Academy, of course, deeply tied into this movie. What is exactly your role with the movie? Are you producer? Are you everything basically with this movie, or what?
Well, I was interviewed for the movie, but I don't think I get it. You know what? I should request a producer line.
Heck yeah, you should.
No, the movie features what we do as the primary example of this kind of resurgence and this opportunity of release time, and so we're featured in it.
Okay, so October 23rd, let me see what day of the week. That is Thursday. That is the one day you can see in theaters Off School Property. So how do you recommend people get those tickets, Joel?
Well, you can find it listed in any of these sites that show, when theaters and when movies are showing in what theaters. But probably the best way is to go to our site. We have a page set up for it. Go to lifewise.org. On the homepage, you'll see an ad for this Off-School Property film, and they'll take you to a page where you can see a trailer. You can also search by zip code the nearest theater to you. And then from there, you can buy your tickets. So go to LifeWise, that's LIFEWISE.org.
Okay, so if people are searching their local theater and they can't find it, but you're in St. Louis and you want to see Off School Property, one day, this coming Thursday, you can see this movie, Off School Property, by going to lifewise.org. Joel, thanks so much for being a part of this movie, being a part of this movement. I think it's so important, and thanks for what you do.
Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Once again, that is lifewise.org, and the movie is Off School Property, showing one day, this Thursday, October 23rd. Encourage you to go see that. Thanks for being here. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. It's George Gray from The Price is Right. I'm excited to get to say 97.1 FM Talk. Come on down. And congratulations on an amazing 25 years in St. Louis.
If your kitchen's not even functional and you can't stand the look of your bathroom, stop just living around the problem. Let Lakeside Renovation and Design help you love your home again. From spa-like bathrooms to these beautiful, functional, custom kitchens to a finished basement, their in-house team over there at Lakeside, they're going to help bring any vision you have to life. They're going to walk you through every step of the process, the planning, the permits, all the things we don't like to do, they take care of it. You just have to dream. And they have financing options like 0 payments, 0% interest for 24 months. Schedule your free consultation today. It's lakesiderd.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Are you a parent of a 2 to 8 year old? Listen closely for an exciting offer, then head to abcmouse.com/radio to learn more. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the award-winning online learning program.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Designed by education experts, ABC Mouse seamlessly aligns with what your child is already learning in school. And with over 10,000 learning activities and more than 850 lessons, it's an engaging and comprehensive curriculum. More info at abcmouse.com/radio.
I have been teaching for 13 years, and I've never seen a program like ABC Mouse. It encompasses science, math, reading, social studies.
We're offering a promo at abcmouse.com/radio to try it free for a month, then $14.99 per month until canceled. Go to abcmouse.com/radio to see this offer. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Actual ABC Mouse users compensated for their testimonials. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
It's time for you to get to know my friends at Lit Cigar Lounge in Chesterfield, where luxury meets comfort. Mark Cox here. They have a great selection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, craft cocktails, anything you like to drink, cold beer, premium hand-rolled cigars from the finest makers in the world. even private lockers that are available if you choose to. Perfect for date nights or business meetings, and live music every Friday night. Family owned and operated. Check them out in Chesterfield at the District. It's litstl.com.
Want to build income without a second job? Learn how real estate investing can help you create extra income one step at a time with Lifestyles Unlimited. Text radio to 88007. That's RADIO to 88007. Presented by Lifestyles Unlimited.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Frey Show.
Captain says the Mannie Frey Show just flew by today. Well, thank you. I assume that's a good thing. This is the last segment here before we turn it over to Mark Reardon. I mentioned about an hour ago that I am completely obsessed with Monopoly at McDonald's. I have gone there, let's see, as of the show start today, over the last 2 days, so 48 hours, I think I've been to McDonald's 5 times, which is stupid. I'm not getting full meals every time I go. I'll just get like a fry or a drink.
Whatever gets you the card.
I need the sticker. And I don't know why I'm doing this. I've already maxed out all the properties because there's always one that you can't get. And I've got all of them but the one in every category already. So what do I actually think I'm going to win? Because I know I'm not. I know the odds are against me.
You kind of do, don't you?
I kind of do.
The odds are against you, but they're not as against you as if you stopped going.
That's true. But isn't this like playing the lottery?
Yes. You won't win if you don't buy a ticket.
Well, yeah, but aren't the odds about this? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're the same for everybody.
But I mean, isn't the thing that drives you basically the same thing? And when you walk past a machine that has the tickets, or you go to the gas station, that you're like, oh, I know in my head that it would be dumb to buy this ticket, but I also think it would be fun to do it, so I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is where it's a little bit different from the lottery. Do you like McDonald's food?
Yes.
Then it's not dumb.
Yeah, but I got a Filet-O-Fish today just because of the piece.
Okay, that's kind of... You don't like the Filet-O-Fish?
No, I like the Filet-O-Fish.
Okay.
I don't like paying $6 for it. If I was paying $2-3, I'd be like, this is great.
$6 for a Filet-O-Fish?
After taxes, it was over $6 for just the sandwich.
Wow.
I know.
I remember those are like 2 for $3.
I know. I know. Like, what happened? How did this become a premium item here? Because it like went up faster than the rest of their menu. But the Big Mac has it.
I wonder if it's tariffs.
I'm sure.
Import tariffs on
fish.
white fish.
But I'm obsessed with it. And now my kids are getting into it now. And my youngest, I'm like, dude, I could see. We drove past a gas station the other day, and he goes, ooh, if we're not going to get Monopoly, maybe we could stop at that gas station and get some lottery tickets. He's 8 years old. I'm like, dude, you made the leap that I was already starting to in my head. Don't start down that road. Because I said on this show before that I've never really gambled. I've been into a casino a few times when I was younger, like right when I turned 21. I think I went into a casino a couple times just to say that I had been. But I didn't gamble. I just went in like with some friends, and then they probably stayed and I left. I don't know. But just recently, I was at a bar, and of course you see gambling machines in every corner now. And some friends were in from out of town, and so I don't even really go to bars a lot, but I just happened to be hanging out with them. And they were like, shoot, let's put a couple bucks in the machine. I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch this. And I watched them play it enough that I'm like, well, there's no real rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
And I just watched them do it. Well, one of them, though, had these like buckets of gold on top of it. And one of the buckets looked like it was about to overflow. And I'm like, ooh, is
like real buckets of coins?
No, it's video.
Okay.
So they can trick you.
Okay.
But I'm aware of that. And I'm watching it and I'm going, oh, man. But if that bucket of gold's about to overflow, and my friend just got done, he said he's cutting himself off, he's done. Could I sweep in and win? And so I sat down, I said, I'm just going to put $10 in this machine. I've literally never gambled in my life. I put $10 in the machine. And I hit for 70 on the second press. And my friend was mad at me, but he also had to admit, I pulled. I
game
got
recognizes
done.
game.
Yeah. So after that, I'm like, well, shoot, this is great. Gambling is awesome. You just make money and it's free. And so then I didn't do any more that day because I was smart enough to walk away after just the 2 presses and walked away with $60 profit. And everybody was laughing because it was like, beginner's luck, you know. So then we just went on our guys trip and we went to Milwaukee. Now, Mark Reardon, if you're listening, you'd know exactly where I'm talking about. There is no gambling in Milwaukee except for this one Indian casino called the Powhatan or Powhatan or something like that. I could never pronounce it when I was there. And it's the one thing there. And I mean, it is jacked. I mean, it is multiple levels. It is massive. And my buddies were like, oh, let's go there one night. And I'm like, ooh, little dangerous, but okay. You know, I thought I had some control. But I did the same thing. And I thought, okay, if I just say I'm going to do $20, which is so low. If like you're gambling, you're probably laughing at me. But I could feel it. I could feel it, Brad.
Yeah.
It puts its hooks in you, and it's like, oh, but if you play just a little bit more, and everything's so lit up and so flashy and so cool looking that I'm like, dude, I could lose my shirt in here.
It's like they hired psychiatrists to figure out what would keep them putting money in the machine.
They absolutely did that. I know that they did because it was, I mean, I hate to say it, it was an amazing experience because you're so lit up, sensory, everything all the time. And you're like on this high of, oh, can I win? And I put in $5 and I won $6 from the start. And I'm like, here we go again. Yeah. Beginner's luck.
I'm great at this.
And then by, 30 minutes later, I'm out of money. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this. But I feel like I'm starting to do it with Monopoly. And I just wanted to get that out there.
This is weird to me because like the thought of losing money, like putting money into something and not getting back what I'm putting money in for is so repugnant to me.
I get it.
It's so repugnant to me that I can't even bring myself to gamble.
I'm with you.
Like I hate the
yes.
The high of winning wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but if you got that taste,
no,
that's what killed me.
I've gotten that taste.
Have you won?
Yes.
So you've done this.
Yeah, you do it and you win. You're like, oh, I won, or you get a scratcher sticking. Oh, I won. But the thought of I'm going to throw money into this and it's not going to give me anything in return. No, it was so repugnant. It's like it's not even worth the winning.
I also feel like it's a weird witness to my kids when they ask, "Dad, do you gamble?" To be like, "Yep."
But
I'm going to say no because I really don't.
But here's where it would be different for me because if I went to McDonald's and it was attached to food, my brain says you're buying food, and this is just a thing.
And that's why I'm letting myself get away with it. It's just that I'm in the app, and we were talking earlier about how whatever Amazon server was down.
Yeah.
And so that my website for my McDonald's app was down, but it looks like it's back up now. So I don't know if it's fully working or not. But if I go to the section where you can see all the pieces, I've got every piece that you can easily get. I've just got none of the hard pieces to get.
Right.
So there's no reason for me to keep playing other than just the gamble of, oh, could I pull?
To play as much as you are, to go to McDonald's, how many times in 48 hours?
5. But it's pathetic.
I just need some fries. I just need some fries.
I do, and they're large fries. I don't even want that many.
One more fries.
You have to get the larges too.
Just one more.
Come on, man. Let me get a small ice cream cone or something.
You got any more of them cheeseburgers, man?
Our YouTube live chat poll today: is American culture shifting? Yes, it's going right. Yes, it's going left, or it's not moving. Brad, we haven't answered this question yet.
No, we have not. I am a yes. This is moving rightward. It's moving slowly at first, and I think this is going to be one of those slowly then all at once, because I think we're in that stage where everybody's kind of like, we wanted to shift rightward. We didn't like where the country was going, but they're still a little bit gun-shy about the backlash that they would get from the cancel culture. But I think we're getting past cancel culture, and as people look around and realize it's safe, I think we're going to see a seismic shift right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to say yes, culture is shifting rightward, but I struggled with the way to word this question even because I actually think God's doing something in America right now. I can't tell you exactly what that is. I do think it's happening among younger people.
Yeah.
college-age people, so much more. It's probably associated with Charlie Kirk in some way, and he was very political, so I don't feel bad about asking it in a political context. I just don't think that's entirely the point, but it does have those ramifications. So I will say, yes, it is shifting rightward. Is American culture shifting? I've pulled up the results here, and overwhelming amount say yes, it actually is shifting rightward. 72% of you say yes, going right. Now, 11% say it's still shifting leftward, and then 17 say no, it's not moving at all. So a little bit of a split there between leftward and not moving, but rightward wins pretty big there with 72%. Thanks for listening today to, I was going to say Wiggins America. It's not. It's the Annie Frey Show.
It's the Mannie Frey Show.
It's the Mannie Frey Show. Annie's not here, but we expect that she will be back tomorrow, and we will see you then. Mark Reardon taking over next.
Another glass of that rock and roll. Turn up the band, find the hole, gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not a Mary, sweetheart.
When it comes to roofing, you can't go wrong with Corel Roofing. Mark Cox here. My friend Curtis Corel came out, looked at my roof, worked with my insurance adjuster. I got a new roof, new gutters, and even new screens on some of my windows. Curtis specializes in working with insurance